Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Classified Captures. Steve here, and today I've got a collection of clips ranging from alien motherships showing up in Russia to new Skinwalker clips that may just leave you shocked. Ready? Let's jump in. Starting today's episode, we've got footage that was taken by a group of men exploring a cave one night in Sombhadra, Uttar Pradesh, India. It was supposed to be a night like every other until they came across this sight. And yes, that's a girl crawling around like a snake and occasionally sticking her tongue out in a serpentine manner. This girl had been reported missing 3 months prior. Her family had searched tirelessly for her and reported her disappearance to the police. But there were no leads. Only now, 3 months later, was she in this cave, behaving in such a bizarre and unsettling way. What could have happened to her during those 3 months? The sight of her moving in such an unnatural manner raises many questions. Some people believe she might be possessed. The way she crawls and flicks her tongue is reminiscent of stories of possession, where individuals take on the characteristics of animals or other entities that possess them. Others suggest that she could have undergone some traumatic experience that caused her to regress into this strange behavior. Being lost and alone in a cave for 3 months could have severe psychological effects on anyone, especially a young girl. The isolation and possible exposure to various elements might have triggered this drastic change in her behavior. What do you think happened to her? On the 3rd of July, a resident of Santa Fe, New Mexico, was walking home one night when he came across a peculiar creature from across the street. You see it right. It's some sort of dog-like creature lying down and grooming itself. Its face is turned away from the camera, and the clip is blurry, making it hard to say for sure what we're dealing with. This sighting in New Mexico has, however, raised alarm bells in the paranormal community. As soon as Aaron saw this footage and learned it was from New Mexico, the first thing he said was chupacabra. For those of you who don't know, a chupacabra is a cryptid native to Mexico, often described as having dog-like features, much like this creature. It's known for its supposed habit of attacking livestock, particularly goats, and drinking their blood. Its name translates to goatsucker in Spanish. Descriptions of the chupacabra vary, but it's often depicted as a dog-like being. What do you think? Could this be an actual chupacabra, or is it just a misidentified animal thanks to a blurry and maybe crappy camera? This next footage was taken in California over the mountains. An observer noticed a metallic spiky ball floating among the trees below and then slowly navigating toward the sky like a balloon. The footage shows the object hovering with a deliberate, almost methodical motion, unlike the erratic movement of a typical balloon. Its metallic, spiky appearance adds to the mystery, making it difficult to identify as anything familiar. The way it moves, slowly, steadily, and seemingly with purpose, suggests it might be under intelligent control. The observer believes this could be some sort of UFO. UFO sightings often involve objects that defy conventional explanations, and this spiky ball certainly fits that description. Its unique shape and movement patterns have led some to speculate that it could be an advanced piece of technology, possibly not of this world. What are your thoughts? Could this be an extraterrestrial craft, a sophisticated drone, perhaps some experimental technology, or maybe just a balloon? Speaking of balloons, a man attached an action GoPro to a balloon and set it up in the sky. The device went up into the lower orbit, and as it was filming space, there were these peculiar sounds. You can see the balloon rising higher and higher, capturing stunning views of the Earth and the edge of space. As it reaches the lower orbit, the unexpected gluck gluck sounds are clearly audible. These sounds are baffling, as there shouldn't be any liquid water in the upper atmosphere, let alone in space. This reminds me of the ancient theory of the firmament. If you are unfamiliar with it, it's supposed to be some sort of dome above the Earth that holds back waters, as described in various mythologies and religious texts. The idea of a water firmament is intriguing and has been the topic of discussion among conspiracy theories and certain scientific circles for years. Could these mysterious water-like sounds be evidence of a celestial firmament, or are they the result of some atmospheric or mechanical anomaly? If you're wondering what happened, you aren't the only one, but that's definitely sheep on top of the roof. A concerned and confused farmer had someone film this to prove it actually happened, and the story is quite an odd one. He woke up one morning and visited his sheep pen as usual, only to see an empty pen. The sheep were nowhere to be seen. After a frantic search, he looked up and saw this. The sheep were on the roof of the hayloft. Last time I checked, sheep don't have wings, nor do they float, so how could they have possibly gotten there? This bizarre sight left the farmer and everyone else who saw it scratching their heads. Sheep are not known for their climbing abilities, and there's no easy way they could have ascended to such a height without assistance. So what could have happened here? This next one was taken in an old small town where the residents were woken up in the middle of the night by something rather unusual. One resident had come across a dead creature that was stuck on an electrical wire fence in the woods. We don't have much context on how the creature was found, but apparently it's one they had never seen in their town before. What's more, the creature is stuck in a rather awkward position. Many were calling it a sigbin, while others argue it's a chupacabra. Because of how the creature is sprawled on the fence, we cannot make out its features well, but the sigbin is a mythical creature from Filipino folklore, often described as a monstrous animal that walks backwards with its head lowered between its hind legs. Like I said, there's not much context to this particular clip, so it wouldn't be wise to declare the creature as something we aren't exactly sure of. But you've seen the clip. What do you think we're dealing with here? There are various tunnels and caves around the world, and no one knows where they lead to. Some are said to have been bunkers and hiding places built during World War II, while others are believed to be secret facilities. Now, the person behind this camera was out on a boat ride. They did not give their location. They were on the boat when they came across this cave in the middle of the ocean. It was more like a built facility than a cave. It looked like it was made of wooden rocks and painted white. But what could it be? The entrance was big enough for the boat to go through, and there was still water inside, so the boat ventured deeper. However, the camera footage ends there, and we aren't shown what happens. This mysterious structure raises many questions. Could it be a relic from wartime, a secret base, or something else entirely? These men were lounging around their campsite in the woods when, out of nowhere, they all looked up at the top of their van and frighteningly moved back. What could have scared them, you might be wondering. Well, it was this creature. It was a small creature moving on all fours, hopping onto the van from a tree. It had an odd appearance that's hard to identify. One commenter said it was a koala bear, but if that were the case, why would a group of 3 grown men be frightened by it? Another commenter said it's a baby dog man, but I'm not too sure about that. As the camera focuses on the creature, you can see its unusual features more clearly. The fur was patchy in some places, giving it a ragged, almost unkempt appearance. What do you think this creature could be? Could it be an unknown species, a cryptid, or simply a misidentified animal? A man noticed a strange shadow in the sky, and what makes it so unusual is that the shadow is above its actual image. The original cloud that is casting the shadow is below, while the shadow itself is higher up in the sky. How is this even possible? Typically, shadows are cast on the ground or on surfaces below the object blocking the light. In this case, the sun is behind the cloud, so the shadow should logically be on the ground or on other clouds below. However, the shadow appears to be above the cloud that's casting it. Naturally, paranormal enthusiasts have come up with theories concerning this, but this phenomena can be explained by a concept known as cloud shadows or shadow projection. Under certain conditions, especially around sunrise or sunset, when the sun is low on the horizon, shadows can be projected on higher layers of the atmosphere, creating an illusion of a shadow floating above the object casting it. This optical illusion can be quite mind-bending. There are a lot of animals out in the woods, especially as night falls. You hear many of these creatures crying out. However, sometimes there are sounds that come from the woods that don't exactly seem to fit into the normal animal category. This footage was taken by a man in the woods. It was already nighttime, but it seemed lights were set up because he was preparing his chainsaw on a truck to get to work when this happened out of nowhere. Did you hear that? A long, deep howl echoed throughout the forest. Now, wolves and wild dogs howl, but there is something about this one that just seems out of this world. It's deeper and more resonant than that of a typical wolf or wild dog. It has a haunting quality that sets it apart from the usual nighttime sounds in the forest. What are your thoughts? Is this a normal forest dweller, or could it be something more mysterious lurking in the woods? A young man shared a video he received from the Selective Service System, indicating that he'd been called to serve in the military.
We're going to war. Failure to comply with these requirements is a violation of the Military Selective Service Act. The maximum penalty for a violation of this act is $250,000 fine or 5 years in prison or both.
For those unfamiliar with it, the Selective Service System is an agency in the United States responsible for maintaining information on those potentially subject to military conscription, commonly referred to as the draft. When young men reach the age of 18, they're required by law to register with the Selective Service. Though the U.S. hasn't had an active draft since 1973, registration is still mandatory, serving as a precaution in case the country needs to quickly mobilize troops in an emergency. Receiving communication from the Selective Service System like this video usually means that the young man has been officially registered and may be called upon if the need arises. I'm not exactly sure there's been an announcement for these drafts, so what exactly do you think is going on here?
Selective Service Act. The maximum penalty for a violation of this act is $250,000 fine or 5 years in prison or both.
What is it? Oh!
Shit!
Shit!
Look at that fucking thing. Yo, that would fucking straight up killed you right in your fucking head, dude. What's his house? This house ain't been fucking up.
Look at that!
That is insane.
Yo, coming right to your
that
head!
thing's got bodies.
Look at this, look at this!
Yo, that's right in your fucking
No,
head.
no, no, hold on, you need to stop more. You need to step over.
Yo, that would have got you right in your fucking neck.
Oh my god, right in his head!
Yo, you got to say
Yes,
this
because
This footage was taken by someone who ventured into an abandoned house. As you can see, there's a staircase and a man used a stick to graze the stairs when this happened. My goodness, imagine if someone was actually walking on the stairs. A lever comes from the top of the staircase with what looks like a dagger tied to it. If someone had stood there, it would have gone right into their chest, throat, or skull, depending on their height. But who could have set this up? And the force at which it came down was undeniably deadly. Why have a booby trap in the house? These men were very lucky. I wonder if they were already aware of the traps in the house, or if they just took a lucky guess, because that would have been fatal. The fact that the trap was still functional suggests that it was set up relatively recently, or it was designed with a level of durability that has withstood the test of time. On second thought, I see duct tape, so this definitely has to be recent. I wonder if these guys set it up themselves for their 5 minutes of fame. Either way, what's your take?
What's that? You think? Yeah.
what is it?
What's that?
Oh!
Shit!
Shit!
Look at that fucking thing. Yo, that
Look
would
at
fucking straight
that.
up killed you right in your fucking head.
A controversial new theory is generating buzz this morning, and it all has to do with aliens and time travel. News Nation special correspondent Ross Coulthart dives into the theory that aliens are actually future humans during his latest episode of News Nation's Reality Check podcast. And Coulthart asked the question, why do aliens have a human shape?
It's surprising, isn't it? Mainstream media has always been cautious about touching on topics like aliens, but now it's almost like the floodgates have opened. This new TV station doesn't just hint at the possibility of extraterrestrial life, they dive right in, bringing in experts who boldly discuss the theory that aliens, especially the grey ones with their humanoid features, might actually be humans from the future. This idea suggests that these beings, with their humanoid appearance, large heads, big eyes, and small bodies, could be an evolved form of humanity. The theory goes back over time that humans might develop physical traits that align more with the descriptions of grey aliens, possibly due to advancements in technology, changes in the environment, or genetic engineering. The idea that these beings could be time travelers adds another layer of intrigue. If they are indeed humans from the future, it raises questions about why they are visiting us now and what their purpose might be. Are they here to study us, warn us, or simply observe their ancestors?
Legs to what he's suggesting is that these beings, if they exist, whatever they are, they do look a lot like us.
This next footage is truly unsettling.
Oh? What the? Hello? Who's down there? Run!
A boy just walking home starts hearing strange noises coming from a sewer. Curiosity gets the better of him, so he approaches and begins filming. As he calls out, the response he gets is a chilling mix of scratchy, inhuman grunts and screams that eerily sound like children crying for help. Panicked, the boy immediately contacts the police and even shows them the footage, but when the authorities investigate, they report nothing unusual. It's almost as if whatever was down there simply vanished without a trace, yet the video clearly shows something disturbing going on. This has all the hallmarks of a real-life horror scenario reminiscent of Stephen King's It and the terrifying character Pennywise who lurks in the sewers. Could it be a person or something more sinister mimicking the voices of children to lure the boys closer? Or perhaps it's something paranormal, an entity that can't easily be found or explained.
What the? Hello? Who's down there? Run!
Forbidden chocolate milk. What?
A man was fixing his car and was draining his chocolatey liquid out when something strange happened. The flowing liquid just froze mid-air. It stopped moving entirely, defying all logic and expectations. The man was taken aback. Could this be a Matrix glitch? There are some Matrix glitch footage that have surfaced over time. Some are very easy to explain and refute, but how do you explain this? Julius says it needs no explanation because the liquid isn't frozen but only looks that way. Do you agree?
What?
Someone was watching a live news broadcast and decided to film it because something unusual caught their eye.
Listen to this. See the legend, live news. See him. She disappeared. Clean. Live news. Is that live news?
In the background of the shot, you can see an older woman slightly bent over walking. But here's where things get strange. She seems to appear out of nowhere, and as she continues walking, she begins to fade. Slowly but surely, she becomes transparent, and then in an instant she vanishes into thin air. This isn't a case of the footage being edited or cut. You can clearly see the woman gradually becoming less solid, like she's phasing out of existence right there on live TV. It's as if she's some kind of apparition, a ghostly figure caught by accident in the background of a news segment. The fact that this happens during a live broadcast makes it even more intriguing. There's no way to fake something like that in real time without people noticing. It leaves us with so many questions. Who was this woman? Was she a ghost, a glitch from reality, or something else entirely?
Listen to this. See the legend, live news. See him. She disappeared. Clean. Live news. Is that live news?
When it comes to strange ghost stories, night shift workers often have the most chilling tales to tell, and this one is no exception. This footage was captured by a security camera in a hospital, specifically in an area that was closed off from renovations. The part of the building was supposed to be empty, with no one coming or going, but what the night shift security and nurses saw on the monitor left them in shock. Out of nowhere, a white figure appeared on the screen. It wasn't a person, at least not in the traditional sense. The figure seemed to float, almost as if it was gliding through the air. It moved around the empty hallway, lingering in different spots before slowly fading away, vanishing as mysteriously as it had appeared. It was clear, unmistakable apparition, and it left everyone who witnessed it questioning what they'd just seen. Was it the spirit of someone who'd passed away in the hospital? Is it a lost soul unable to move on? Or was it something else entirely, something beyond our understanding? In this footage, a man taking a walk films something truly eerie. A woman was jogging, completely unaware that a very large spider-like creature was crawling after her. She doesn't seem to notice it at all as she continues her jog. The creature is enormous, far larger than any typical spider. It moves silently, its long, spindly legs navigating the forest floor with an unsettling grace. The contrast between the woman's casual jog and the silent pursuit of the spider-like entity is striking. The creature's appearance and movements are enough to send chills down anyone's spine. It remains just behind her, never quite catching up, but always there, looming in the background. The woman, unaware of her silent pursuer, continues jogging without a care in the world. As much as I love these stories, it just looks fake. I don't know, but it doesn't give me the kick the usual paranormal clips do. Maybe Julius's skepticism is rubbing off on me. What are your thoughts? Is this real or just edited footage? This footage was taken on July the 27th, 2024 in Brazil. As you can see, there are two clips, one on top of the other at the bottom. These videos were captured by two different people. They both spotted this cone-shaped craft in the sky. The craft appears to hover silently. Its unique shape and bright lights make it stand out against the backdrop of the sky. The object's movement and the fact that it was observed from different angles by two separate witnesses adds to the mystery. The top clip shows the craft from a distance, hovering steadily, while the bottom clip provides a closer view, revealing more details about its structure. The synchronized timing and consistency of these sightings make it difficult to dismiss as a mere coincidence or a simple misunderstanding. This is why you shouldn't believe everything you see. Here I have clips of people wearing very lifelike silicone masks. Just look at that. The masks blend so well with their features that it's almost impossible to notice unless you're looking very closely. The level of detail in the masks is astonishing, with realistic skin textures, wrinkles, and even subtle facial movements. And take a look at these famous people who have been caught wearing what are believed to be these silicone masks. It's shocking to think that someone could be hiding behind a completely different face, fooling everyone around them. Putting on a face that isn't theirs is not only deceptive, but also quite unsettling. Imagine the possibilities: criminals evading capture, impersonators infiltrating secure areas, or even celebrities and public figures hiding in plain sight. It's very scary to think about how realistic these masks are and how easily they can deceive us. This footage was taken by a trail camera capturing something eerie in the darkness. A creature with an almost human appearance but much skinnier and pale moves on all fours. Aaron believes this could be a skinwalker. The creature's appearance is unsettling with its elongated limbs and gaunt frame. Its skin is a pale, almost ghostly white, contrasting starkly with the dark forest around it. Moving with an unnatural grace, it navigates the forest floor on all fours, its movements fluid yet disturbingly inhuman. Skinwalkers, according to Navajo legend, are witches who could transform into animals or other people. They're often described as having distorted features and movements that betray their true nature. The creature in this footage fits that description perfectly, but this doesn't look like it was recorded on Navajo land. Is this truly a skinwalker, or could there be another explanation for this strange figure caught on camera? This next footage was taken in Russia. A resident captured this on their phone. It shows strange lights behind the clouds that, when you look closely, appear to form triangular shapes much like an alien mothership. But is that what this is? The lights move in a way that seems deliberate and coordinated, not like any natural phenomenon or conventional aircraft. The triangular formation is particularly intriguing as it matches many descriptions of UFO sightings reported around the world. This footage was taken from a few years ago. As you can see, a man is opening a sarcophagus. A sarcophagus is a coffin adorned with sculptures and inscriptions. This one is shaped like a mummy, so as you can tell, it's from Egypt. Sarcophagi were used to bury leaders and wealthy people. This particular footage was taken back in 2020. This was one of the many sarcophagi that were retrieved from a burial ground. It was part of a larger excavation that unearthed dozens of similar coffins, all remarkably intact. These sarcophagi are believed to date back 2,500 years. The man carefully opens the ancient coffin, revealing its contents for the very first time in millennia. The craftsmanship of the sarcophagus is stunning, with intricate carvings and hieroglyphs that tell the story of the person buried within. The anticipation is palpable as the lid is lifted, exposing the mummified remains. What are your thoughts on this incredible discovery? If you think this whole UFO talk is false, take a look at this.
This is a Pentagon guy, a UFO chief, the chairman of Harvard's astronomy department as well, both releasing a report on Tuesday where they wrote an artificial interstellar object could potentially be a parent craft that releases many small probes during its close passage to Earth.
Did you hear that? A Harvard astronomer and a Pentagon's UFO chief have suggested that there could possibly be a UFO in our solar system. They claim that whenever these objects get closer to Earth, they release probes to observe us. Is this the proof we've been waiting for? The idea that advanced extraterrestrial technology could be operated within our own solar system is both thrilling and unnerving. These bright lights, often dismissed as natural phenomenon or human-made objects, might be something far more extraordinary.
You've got the Pentagon talking about the idea of a mothership going above us and sending probes down.
This next footage is very alarming. In the middle of a crowd, a man is holding a live wire in his hand, and on the ground in front of him is a bowl of water. First, he sticks the live wire into the water, and it sparks. Look at what he does next. With the wire still in his hand, he steps into the bowl of water and sticks the wire into the water again. But he doesn't get electrocuted. Instead, sparks start flying, and everyone cheers him on. I must say that I do not know what is going on here. Is this some sort of trick or sorcery? The sight is both mesmerizing and frightening. Electricity and water are a dangerous combination, and seeing someone seemingly defy the laws of physics raises many questions. Could he be using some kind of hidden technology to protect himself? Is this some sort of magic trick, or is there another explanation? Someone in the comments of the original post had this to say. Bro is not completing the circuit. Ask him to do it again with one leg in the basin and one leg out. Can any of you science whizzes confirm this? I don't want Julius demeaning stare, so I'm keeping this to myself. And counting on you, I'll be reading the comments. The man behind the camera was out in the woods with his friend. I don't know what they went out there to do, but they happened to get separated. When he caught up with his friend, he was visibly spooked. He believed that his friend was not himself, but a skinwalker. Take a look at their interaction.
Is that you?
Yeah, it is.
Prove it. Yeah, prove it.
Well, what do you mean, prove it?
I don't know.
I've been face down in a ditch for 2 hours. I was trying to save your pony, okay?
So what do you think? Is this really a skinwalker, or is the man just being paranoid? Take a look at this footage and tell me what you think. A woman is crossing the road with her baby in a stroller when a car comes speeding toward them. Just as it seems there is no escape, a dark mass appears out of nowhere and whisks them to the side of the road, leaving the empty stroller behind. The camera follows the movement out of the dark mass, and to everyone's astonishment, it reveals a man who seems to teleport or fly, carrying them to safety. The speed and precision of his actions are incredible, almost beyond belief. I know Julius will call this ludicrous, and the fact that even Aaron doubted this was real discouraged me from even showing it to Julius. Aaron might be our conspiracy theorist, but he too could be wrong. Anyway, what are your thoughts? Skinwalkers are among the trickiest creatures to encounter. They possess the ability to shapeshift into any creature, but the only way to identify them is by their unnatural behavior. Take a look at this footage, for example.
Nobody! Help! Help! Nobody! Help!
During sundown, a farm owner was taking a walk on his property when he captured a silhouette from afar. It was the upper torso of a man walking with a strange waddling gait. The figure was screaming for help, but in a calm, almost eerie manner, while continuing to waddle about aimlessly. This is a typical example of what skinwalkers are said to be like. Their inability to fully replicate human behaviors makes them stand out, even when they successfully imitate someone's appearance. For instance, when they turn into a human, they cannot speak or walk properly. They can only mimic the actions and voices of their previous victim. So if the person they mimic was shouting, that's all they'll be able to do as well. How do we know this? Well, Aaron said so. If he's wrong, well, don't crucify me in the comments section. Anyway, what are your thoughts on this?
¿Han visto un Uber de verdad?
These men were gathered around a covered hole in the forest. On a stick, they'd placed a piece of raw meat. When they opened the covering of the hole, a two-headed creature suddenly emerged, grabbing the meat and swiftly retreating into the hole. The creature moved incredibly fast, giving only a brief glimpse of its two heads before disappearing. The men were left stunned and bewildered, not knowing what kind of creature they'd just encountered. The two-headed creature remains a mystery. Could it be a genetic mutation, a previously undiscovered species, or perhaps even a mythological being brought to life? The rapid movement and unusual appearance adds to the enigma, leaving us with more questions than answers. What do you think of the whole thing? A cat owner had a surprising discovery when his cat brought something home. It was a miniature, dried-up creature with long brown hair. The creature looks mummified, almost as if it had been preserved for a long time. The details are astonishing. The creature has delicate, almost human-like features with tiny limbs and intricate hair. What had the cat just brought home? Well, let's take a closer look. The texture of the skin, the way the hair is attached, and the overall structure could provide clues. Could this be a carefully crafted doll or an art project? Or is it possible that we're looking at something truly mysterious? When I first saw this clip and saw the man approach the contraption, my heart skipped a beat. I felt there might be some python or constrictor in there. The man, however, fearlessly approached and opened it. Once he did, I was shocked, and then I laughed. Imagine finding out your internet is slow because someone decided to store nuts in your unit. The cables have been chewed through to make way for the nuts. What would have been your reaction to this? This video just gives me the creeps. A woman came downstairs into the hall to find her dog on the sofa with a Woody toy petting its back. Yes, a Woody toy. It's like Toy Story in real life. As soon as the woman brought the camera closer to the scene, the Woody toy fell on the ground, lifeless, as if it hadn't just been standing on 2 feet a few seconds ago petting the dog. Now, if this is fake, I don't know how they pulled it off because it looks so real. The toy's movements and the timing of it falling over when approaching are eerily precise, adding to the unsettling nature of the footage. What do you think? Are we dealing with a hoax, or is there something more mysterious at play?
I think this is the spot. We gotta get over. Okay, yes. This is it. So, here is the hole. I'll show that. Inconspicuous, tiny little hole in the ground. Honestly, just like a little cave or something. I don't know. That's what I thought it was the first time I saw this the other day.
This man came across a mysterious hole in the middle of nowhere beneath a very large oak tree. It wasn't a regular hole, an animal burrow, or anything of that sort. It was a tunnel with a flush of ending stairs that seemed to go on indefinitely. Curiosity got the better of him, and he decided to venture down. To his surprise, he found out that there were lights along the tunnel of the stairs still working. He couldn't fathom out how long this place had been there for the lights to still function, nor what might be the end of the stairs or where it led. Despite his uncertainty, he continued down the path until it led him to a flight of stairs going further down. But this time, there were no lights. At first, he was skeptical about continuing, but his curiosity pushed him forward. The stairs led him to an old wooden door. He opened it and stepped into an ancient-looking empty room. There was a metal barred door that revealed another, much larger empty room with a strange white object in the center. The lower part of the metal bar was broken, allowing him to crawl through into the larger room. Upon closer inspection, he found that the white object was some sort of long cabinet or container. At this point, he started feeling very uneasy. The atmosphere was heavy and the silence was almost deafening. What could this place be? An old bunker? A forgotten secret facility? The air of mystery and the unsettling feeling of being in such hidden abandoned place filled his mind with endless possibilities and a creeping sense of dread. What do you think this place could be? This video was taken by a man who ventured into an abandoned shed in the middle of the night. As he was looking around, he spotted a strange creature ahead. It was crouched on all fours, and at first glance you would think it was human. But then something astonishing happened. The creature leapt off the ground and flew away. The movement was sudden and almost supernatural. One moment it was there, crouched low like an animal, and the next it had taken to the air with the grace that defied explanation. The man's camera captured the event live, showing the creature unexpected transition from grounded to airborne. What could this creature be? Some speculate it might be a cryptid. Others suggest it could be an elaborate hoax, a result of clever editing or special effects. But what do you think? This next footage comes from Czechoslovakia and was recorded back in 2015 when a curious man ventured into the woods for a hike. While he was walking deeper into the woods, he heard a strange sound. The sound was like a cry from an animal. It wasn't exactly a howl, neither was it a bark or a growl. Listening to the sound, you can tell it's coming from a pretty big creature. In any normal circumstance, you would expect him to run out of there, but no, he walked straight towards the sound to investigate. As he ventured deeper, he encountered broken tree branches and enormous tracks that looked like human footprints, but much larger and deeper in the earth. This indicates that who or whatever it is must be very heavy. Sensing the sounds drawing nearer, the hiker wisely cut his adventure short, scared that he might come face to face with something he wasn't prepared for. When this man uploaded this footage, people were quick with different theories. Some said it was the infamous Dogman, others said it was the legendary Bigfoot. Someone mentioned that it could be a human-eating troll, while some took a much more scientific explanation, saying that the sound was from the collision of two wind currents. But if that was the case, then what explanation do you have for the tracks that were found there as well? But in all, I'm glad the man left there, because who knows what he would have come face to face with if he stayed to find out. This next footage is one that has me scratching my head. Take a look. You see it, don't you? The scene is in a remote, misty place, making the landscape captivating. In this setting, a tall, white, well-built figure appears, sparking curiosity. This mysterious apparition has led to speculation, with theories like an albino Sasquatch or a cloaked Bigfoot being discussed. Looking at it though, I don't see any of these things. I simply think it's a man in a costume trying to get some views. What about you? Have you ever felt like you weren't alone in the woods? One man in the UK discovered more than he anticipated while walking through the Stansted Forest. The video footage he captured is spine-tingling. As he strolled through the forest, he noticed something unusual in the air surrounding him. As he proceeded further into the eerie woods, he encountered ghostly apparitions of an old woman, a child, and other unidentifiable spirits floating in the air. According to local law, these apparitions are the ghosts of an elderly couple who tragically died when they mistakenly walked onto a nearby railway track. Ever since then, they've been haunting the forest and anyone who dares to explore it. This is a chilling reminder that the past can occasionally return to haunt us in the most unexpected ways. Camping can be fun and interesting, and it introduces you to lots of many experiences you never thought possible. Some are attracted to camping because they've never experienced the outdoors before, while others love it for the adrenaline and thrill it offers. However, when families go camping, it's usually intended as a fun bonding exercise. But what happens when this fun activity, which is supposed to help the family bond and relax, becomes one that introduces them to danger they did not even know existed? The family you see in this footage was exposed to danger while camping, and they didn't even realize it. If you watch the video carefully, you'll notice a creature swiftly moving past the young boy. If you didn't see it, watch it again. Did you see it? If you've been following today's videos, then you would have already learned by now that in low-light conditions, objects can look weirder in the camera than they actually are. But this doesn't look like one such case. The family had the footage analyzed by experts who concluded that no stimuli were present in the environment that could have created the image of the creature running past their little boy. Whatever it was the real deal, and that left the family spooked. There was indeed a spirit present with them, and they were unaware. What if it had killed or hurt them? What if it had followed them home? I guess time will tell. This footage was taken from the backyard of a live streamer. He heard some noise outside and decided to check it out, so he turned his camera to the darkness in his backyard. Emerging from the depths of the darkness, a ghostly figure materializes, only to vanish moments later. The creature looked to be about 7 foot tall with very broad shoulders. Not only was it huge and fast, the entity also appeared to be smoke-like. Could that be a ghost, an alien, or some kind of evil spirit that was out on a haunting? Tell us what you think. Next, we visit the woodlands of Ohio. A man was walking through the woods when he heard the sound you hear playing currently. Clearly, that doesn't sound like a dog, wolf, or bear. It's an eerie mixture, almost resembling a howl, but with hints of other unfamiliar sounds, reminiscent of a hyena, albeit in a subtle manner. It's quite hard to explain because it doesn't sound like anything we know. What then could it be? These woodlands have a reputation for numerous Bigfoot sightings. In fact, the locals firmly believe that the cry could only be a Sasquatch. But why would a Bigfoot be howling this loud at that time of day? Could it be heard, or is it merely a mating call? I guess we'll never know. There's a reptilian race believed to be living amongst us in plain sight. They're believed to have made their way to Earth and disguised themselves as humans. Despite their convincing disguise and ability to look like us, they fail to mimic us completely and have strange body parts that give them away. Take a look at these girls in the clips. These girls look normal until they pull out their tongues, and look at that. They have extremely long tongues that could touch their chests without them bending their necks, and yet their tongues fit right back inside their mouths. I mean, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but you get it. After their clips went viral, people started to believe that they might not be human, while others said they were reptilians. I mean, I want to call them reptilian people, even though there's not enough information to go on. While I love me some good conspiracies, I can't help but feel my love for conspiracies might be making me biased. What do you guys think, though? Could we really be dealing with an alien situation, or are these girls just normal humans born with extremely long tongues? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Believe me when I say this next one is a strange one. Yeah, so now that you guys have seen it, what do you think we're dealing with? The one who uploaded the clip found it in his water butt, and no, it's not what you're thinking. A water butt is a large container for collecting or storing a liquid such as rainwater. As we can see, the creature is tiny, transparent, and jelly-like that looks like it has an elephant trunk. I tried to find out what it could be, but there was no clue whatsoever. Perhaps you guys can help. I'll be reading the comments. In this next clip, you can see a man using a metal thing to strike a rock. The rock, which was initially gray, suddenly turns red within a matter of seconds. This is quite unusual as rocks are typically considered non-living and shouldn't react to being hit. Various commenters have offered their theories in an attempt to explain this phenomenon. Some have suggested that the rock is a type of red stone that changes color when struck. Several others have suggested that the rock may contain either magnesium or magnetite. Magnetite is a natural stone that has magnetic properties. One commenter clarified that magnetite has natural magnetic south properties, which means that it can attract or repel other magnets. While these are interesting observations, they don't truly explain what exactly caused the rock to turn red. Rocks aren't exactly my thing, so can you help? Or is this just a paranormal occurrence? When I saw this, the first thing that came to mind was possessed, but then again I thought to myself, perhaps there might be a medical explanation for this, and so I did some research and discovered that there's not. There's no condition that makes the eye as dark as we see. I turned to my paranormal groups and it turns out my instincts were right. This has to do with paranormal entities that take the form of children to beg for help and, well, do horrible things to those who help them later. This child, on the other hand, looks cute and appears to be with a family. Could our hypothesis be wrong? Could the child have been replaced by some vile spirit, or is this a medical condition I didn't discover in my research? So many questions and yet no answers. Whatever the situation, I can't help but feel sad for the baby, if it is indeed one. Poor baby. Still on strange fruits, take a look at this next clip for instance. Yes, that's a banana on the table with tentacles flailing in the air. I mean, look at it. It looks so convincingly real. While they are indeed very strange and questionable things that happen all the time, let's not forget that technology and AI are also constantly growing, making it easier to fake a lot of things. Julius, our in-house science whiz, is convinced that this is obviously CGI. I want to dispute the fact, but it's an undeniable fact that computer-generated images these days can be so real. They are so real that they blur the lines between reality and fiction. Now, what do you guys think? CGI or real? Let us know your thoughts and reason in the comments section. A clip from 1980 shows someone handling an iPhone. Yes, you heard that right, in 1980. Take a look at the bizarre footage. A journalist returned to Hiroshima to document the aftermath of the 1945 bombing. One of the strangest things he found was what appeared to be a smartphone, specifically an iPhone 13. The chilling part is that the iPhone 13 wasn't released until 2021. How did this man get a hold of such advanced technology decades earlier? In the footage, you can see the man holding the device and trying to look at his reflection, seemingly unaware that it was a phone. How is this possible? Could someone explain what's going on here? Did someone time travel, or was this technology available long before we thought it was? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. I wish I could tell you that that's the end of the weird stuff, but no, it gets weirder. Take a look at this next clip. Yup, those are alleged alien babies. We don't call this show classified captures for no reason. This was also sent in by a user here claiming to be part of a secret team that takes care of alien babies on the planet. As proof, he or she sent in this clip. I say he or she because the individual refused to share any personal information at the risk of being discovered by the organization he or she works with. The exchange was exciting at first because of the mysterious nature of the person involved. Once we got this clip, however, it just didn't feel that way anymore. My team started suspecting right away that there had to be clips of silicon babies in the form of aliens. Sure enough, we did find the clip somewhere with people calling it silicon. You've seen the clip too, so what do you think? Our next clip was taken by the pilot of a military craft. The pilot of the aircraft was on a routine flight when he noticed an unknown craft flying nearby. The craft was circular and had an appearance similar to a saucer. It flew past the pilot's aircraft without any interaction or acknowledgement. According to the pilot, he had no idea what the craft was, which ruled out the possibility of it being a drone. What is intriguing about the video is that the craft seems to be highly advanced and unlike any human-made aircraft. There's no clear explanation as to what the craft could have been, and it remains a mystery. Do you think it could have been a UFO? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. I have seen animals do strange things, but this next clip is just on another level. A cow chewing on wires from a transformer? Well, that's a new one. We often hear about goats eating just about anything, but a cow? This is truly strange. Despite all the grass going around it, this cow chose to munch on a bunch of plastic and copper wires instead. It's a perplexing sight to say the least. By the look of things, it seems there's no power running through those wires, otherwise this cow would have long been a barbecue. That doesn't change the fact that it's a bizarre and somewhat alarming scene. What do you think could have driven this cow to chew on wires instead of the abundant grass? Is it just a peculiar behavior, or could there be something more to it? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. We'd really love to hear your take on this unusual event. Brazil is no exception to the strange phenomena that has been appearing in our skies all over the globe. Take a look at this clip that was sent in recently. The clip shows a glowing object that resembles an arch with a bright orb at the center that blinks with light. The entire structure glows, looking entirely unnatural in the sky. Members of the paranormal community where this was shared are torn on what this object could be. Some believe it's a drone, while others suggest it's an angel, as described in the Bible and ancient texts. Others think it might be a demon rather than an angel. However, skeptics argue that this is simply a hologram projection. What do you make of this mysterious sighting? Could it be a supernatural being, an advanced piece of technology, or just an elaborate hoax? Share your thoughts. Can you do the split? I know a majority of us here can't do it. I must confess I can't. What if I told you I met a mouse that could? Don't believe me? Watch. Yeah, that's a mouse doing the split. We're not exactly sure how it got there, but it's remaining there by doing the split. My team thinks it was trying to escape the humans, and that's not impossible. When survival mode kicks in, it's amazing the things we can do. A split would have been the last thing on my mind, but here it is. There's also the possibility that the people recording it put it there to garner views, but that would just be cruel. Enjoy the natural split. Something beautiful, something exquisite, something rare. Take a look. Now, what are we looking at here? A strange-looking cat-like creature in the forest. What could this guy be? Well, this is a jaguarandi. For those unfamiliar with it, the jaguarandi is a fascinating wild cat that could be found across the Americas. It's a medium-sized animal with a unique appearance characterized by a small head, a long, slender body, and short legs. The jaguarandi's coat can vary from reddish-brown to grayish-brown, and it has a long, bushy tail that's often darker at the tip. This wild cat is a solitary and elusive creature, which makes it quite challenging to spot in the wild. It's known to be active during both the day and night as it hunts for small mammals, reptiles, and birds. The jaguarandi's diet is quite diverse, and it can feed on anything from rodents to lizards to small birds. The jaguarandi is a quiet and relatively calm animal. It's not particularly aggressive and will usually avoid humans if possible. However, it is still a wild animal and should be treated with caution and respect if encountered in the wild. Where does this rank on your list of favorite cats? Let us know in the comments section. While exploring the mysterious depths of the ocean, someone scooped up some truly bizarre creatures. At first glance, they resemble tiny starfish, but their distinctive features quickly set them apart. Their tentacles are thin and vivid red, giving them a striking appearance that looks more like flattened spiders with 5 legs. While you might be tempted to conclude they're alien, these fascinating beings are known as brittle stars. Unlike their more robust starfish cousins, brittle stars are delicate and almost ethereal. Their limbs twist and turn with an eerie fluidity, adding to their otherworldly charm. Brittle stars are a captivating reminder of the ocean's endless mysteries and the incredible diversity of life it harbors. This next footage was sent in by a subscriber. They captured a strange creature flying close to the camera, and they believed it could be a fairy. The creature flew by pretty fast, and when you zoom in, it does seem to have long legs, but that's about all you can make out. It's hard to say for sure what it is. Some might argue it's just a wasp or another type of insect, given the blurry quality and fast movement. But then again, who knows what mysterious creature might be out there that we haven't yet discovered? What do you think? Is this just a common insect, or could it really be a fairy? Under the canopy of a lush green bamboo grove, 2 pandas sit huddled together, their eyes locked on the succulent apples resting in their paws. With mouths watering, they sink their sharp teeth into the juicy fruit, emitting a loud, crunching sound that echoes through the tranquil forest. Their faces, adorned with black rings around their eyes, light up with pure satisfaction. These adorable creatures radiate pure joy with every bite, as if nothing else in the world matters. The sheer bliss on their faces is infectious. So there's this video, right? I don't know if this is real or not.
Die! You will die!
So that's okay, yeah, he's pissed. You should probably go.
A cat owner is just chilling, giving their feline friends some good old pets. Nothing out of the ordinary, you'd think. But then, out of the blue, the cat unleashes this weird sound that, I kid you not, sounds like it's uttering the phrase, "Die, you will die." Now, that's not your everyday cat behavior, right? I mean, it's a bit on the creepy side, no denying that. If I found myself in a situation like that, I guess I'd be kind of taken aback. Like, what's going on with the cat? Cats can be weirdly expressive, and their vocal range is like cryptic language we're still deciphering. If, however, you notice any odd behavior like this, maybe it's time for a visit to the vet. You know, just to rule out any otherworldly influence or health issues. Better safe than sorry, right? FYI, I don't think it's possessed, but it comes close. Don't you think?
Die! You will die!
So that's
Now, what is this? Black, thick, gigantic strands floating to the ocean's surface. The first thing that came to mind when I saw them was wigs. Turns out they aren't wigs, and the mermaids aren't shedding their hair. I wonder what gives me such ideas. I did the research and discovered that I didn't need to. A number of the individuals who commented on the original post had it right. We're dealing with kelp. For those unfamiliar with it, kelp is a type of large brown seaweed that thrives in cold, nutrient-rich waters and grows in underwater forests found along coastlines. These underwater forests can extend from the ocean floor to the surface, where the kelp fronds create a thick and dense canopy. Kelp can grow up to 60 meters in length, making it one of the fastest-growing plants in the world. The kelp forests are home to numerous marine organisms, including fish, crabs, and sea urchins that rely on kelp for food and shelter. They can, however, become detached from the seafloor due to storms, strong currents, or other factors. When that happens, they float to the surface and create large clumps or mats like in the clip above. So, no wigs. Disappointing. Before I move on to the next clip, though, I thought I'd share my favorite comment from the original post with you. The first time I read this, I almost believed it till the last statement. That's why I had to do my own research. The internet can be a funny place. Who knew? What's a classified captures episode without a little mystery solving? Yup, that's right. Up next is our bonus segment. Can you guys identify what's on your screen? Remember, I'm not just looking for a name. I would want you to add a genuine fact. I'll be picking the earliest answer with the most interesting fact. May the fastest human, cryptid, or alien win. And yes, we know you non-humans watching our channel as well. We've got our eyes on you. But seriously, all the best. I love reading your comments. Animals are believed to be much more sensitive when compared to humans. Some believe that animals exhibit strange behaviors when they sense danger or something alarming. In this footage, someone noticed something strange with a school of fish. The red fish were all moving in a spiral pattern in the water. They were evenly spaced and moved at a hauntingly slow pace. Fish often display such coordinated movements when they feel threatened. This spiral pattern could be a defense mechanism, an attempt to confuse predators, or a response to environmental changes. Some believe it could also be related to shifts in water conditions or even an impending natural event. What do you think is causing this eerie fish behavior? Could it be a sign of something bigger happening underwater, or is it just another fascinating aspect of animal behavior? If you thought a car on water was amazing, wait till you see this. Imagine a bus that could run on a nuclear reactor. That's exactly what this bus is. But as much as I wouldn't want to burst your bubble, the Cyclops is a fictional vehicle made from the 1976 movie The Big Bus, and that's all there is to it. This remarkable mode of transport was designed to travel across the country without ever needing to stop for fuel. Just think about the possibilities. The Cyclops could have changed the way we travel forever with its revolutionary technology, if it were real. A nuclear-powered bus would have been a game-changer in the transportation industry, offering a cleaner and more efficient way to travel. Unfortunately, the Cyclops only exists in the world of fiction. Nevertheless, it's fascinating to think about what could have been if this incredible vehicle was made reality. Perhaps someday, someone will create a real-life Cyclops that can revolutionize the way we travel. Still on strange water sightings, we've got another one, but this time in the waters of Mexico. This spectacle was captured by a couple who were walking on a boardwalk by the shores of Veracruz. What makes this incident more peculiar is that residents reported that they wasn't just the first time this had happened, making it even more intriguing. It's highly unusual if this is a natural disaster, as it is not naturally possible for such an event to occur. A whirlpool appearing and disappearing at will. Could we be looking at some sort of portal or some sort of scientific experiment going on in broad daylight? It's possible that this couple happened to be at the location at the exact same time when the entity responsible for this passage opened it. It looks like a scene from a sci-fi movie.
These holes on this brain MRI aren't holes, they're parasites. Can you guess what it's from? This is neurocysticercosis, and it's caused from eating undercooked meats. This person ate parasitic eggs hidden in pork that then hatched all over the body, including the brain.
Now let's talk about worms, not the ones on the ground, but the ones that can infest humans. Worm infestations are more common than we realize, and some types of worms can even make their way into our brains. These parasites can be mistaken for tumors and have serious health consequences, including organ failure, blindness, and, in severe cases, death. One of the most common sources of worms is food, particularly sushi, because the fish is often uncooked. Another notorious carrier is pork. According to the World Health Organization, over 1 billion people worldwide suffer from parasitic infections. This underscores the critical importance of regular deworming. Dr. Josh Hellman, a medical doctor from Harvard, suggests that certain foods can help in deworming. These include carrots, beetroot, and pomegranates. These foods contain compounds that can help to expel parasites from the body. So everyone, it's important to deworm regularly. If you haven't done it in a while, consider this your reminder. You definitely don't want those parasites crawling up into your brain. AI has been good so far, but there are still people who are very skeptical about it, and this is why.
在给俄罗斯男看诗，只有你们中国的兄弟姐妹没抛弃我们。俄罗斯的农村真是个奇妙的地方。注释是土豆。This is not Olga. Her name is April, and she's been living in China for 8 years. She has my voice, my face, and she speaks fluent Mandarin. And here's Natasha. She's a 31-year-old Russian woman who decided to come to China to sell and advertise Russian food.
A Ukraine YouTuber by the name of Olga Loik came across a chilling discovery. Numerous social media accounts were using an AI-generated influencer with her face and voice. Most of these platforms were Chinese accounts and some were Russian. These accounts were used for various purposes. Some were spreading propaganda, while others were making more money than Olga ever made from social media.
I then translated the videos with Google Translate and figured out the most terrifying part. The narratives my clones were voicing sounded like blatant propaganda. Russian people will always remember, I really appreciate China. While everyone else is moving away from Russia, only China is behind the quiet support. When other countries reject Russian stuff, it's your support to help Russia meet its immediate needs. China and Russia are good neighbors. China-Russia friendship lasts forever. And then she proceeds to advertise her Russian candies, and you can actually go here and you can buy the candies that she's advertising, which is kind of crazy because, for example, I haven't made even like a $1 from YouTube at the moment. And she already uses my face. They already use my face to make a profit.
The disturbing part is there is nothing she can do about it because these entities technically own the rights to her likeness. How? When you log on to social media and accept the user agreements without reading them carefully, you might end up giving away your face and voice for free to be used by others to make money. I know you love these AI apps, but you may want to start checking their terms and conditions before you upload your images there. But what do you guys think of this situation? Should there be stricter regulations on how AI-generated content can be used, especially when it involves someone's likeness? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. In the spooky confines of what was once a cozy cafe, a malevolent presence materializes with malevolence swirling in the air. Security cameras, once the silent observers of mundane activities, now capture a scene that defies explanation. As the footage unfolds, refrigerators burst open one by one, their contents clattering to the floor with an ominous, unnatural force. The atmosphere trembles with preternatural energy, as if the very essence of the room has been tainted by a sinister entity. Containers spill their secrets only to be inexplicably closed again, like a chilling joke played by the unseen malevolence that now rules this space. It's a tale that might leave you both shivering and bewildered. Probably thought there was going to be a party and it was going to have a boo. On that note, if you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed to the channel yet, please do so now. It really helps us out a ton and gives me the opportunity to keep making videos for you. Thank you very much. Moving on. YouTuber MonsterFish5000 had a rather peculiar experience while in Oklahoma and generously decided to share it with his audience. In the dimly lit distance near a streetlight, he insisted he spotted something out of the ordinary. He described the creature as humanoid, but at first there appeared to be nothing there. However, just a few moments later, this mysterious figure emerged from the inky shadows. The creature was cloaked in a dark robe with an eerily pale head that drew a great deal of intrigue. Upon closer examination, when the footage was diligently zoomed in, we could catch a glimpse of this entity's distinctive features. It had an otherworldly green complexion coupled with pointed ears and a rather prominent nose resembling none other than a goblin. This footage quickly spread like wildfire across the internet, captivating audiences with its spine-tingling aura. Yet, as time went on, the truth came to light. It was ultimately unveiled as an elaborate hoax concocted by a band that donned goblin masks as a promotional stunt. But even with that knowledge in mind, there's something about this footage that still sends shivers down the spine. After all, the line between the real and the surreal can sometimes be a rather thin one. Two military guys were in a tree in the woods, likely engaged in some type of training, when out of nowhere, two bears came running into the area. One of the bears started to climb the tree where the men were perched. Luckily, the bear was not aggressive. It noticed the first man, looked around for a while, and perhaps was confused about why the man kept laughing. Maybe it's self-conscious, and the man's laughter affected its self-esteem, but boy, are we glad he was uninterested in the man. This encounter could have turned dangerous, but fortunately the bear's calm behavior allowed the men to avoid a potentially hazardous situation. If you must go out there to the woods, make sure you're informed and know what you may encounter there. This next footage is said to have been taken as far back as 1987 near a volcano. The clip was allegedly taken because of the strange creature you see in it. But what exactly is that creature? It looks like some sort of huge spider-like monster. Its lower body was made of many legs that looked like roots, but its upper body looked eerily human. You could see its head and shoulders. However, this creature moved in such an automated way it looked so out of place and unreal. Most of the members of the paranormal groups where it was shared called it fake. You've seen it for yourself. What do you think? Take a moment to examine this intriguing footage.
Oh, whoa. What is that?
It's like that Tic Tac from Rogan, bro.
What was that?
The thing that, like the UFO thing, like flying all over the place.
I mean, this looks like a UFO.
What we have here is a video of a strange craft that was captured in the night sky. This craft is quite unusual as it has three lights arranged in a triangular shape. It was seen simply floating in the air without any apparent propulsion or movement. But how did this craft get there? It all started with a glowing orb. The orb descended from the sky and remained stationary in the same spot. Then two more orbs appeared beneath it. This, my friends, is how the craft was formed. Could this be a UFO? It's certainly possible. The shape and behavior of the craft are unlike anything we've seen before. But then again, what do you think?
Oh, whoa. What is that?
It's like that Tic Tac from Rogan, bro.
What was that?
The thing that, like the UFO thing, like flying all over the place.
I mean, this looks like a UFO.
No, but it's like, well, yeah, I guess.
Here is another tragic incident that took place at an amusement park in 2011.
Oh, God, it's gonna crash! It's gonna crash! It's gonna crash! Oh my God!
A child on the Ferris wheel captured this footage. They were high up in the sky when a plane came crashing into the Ferris wheel at a rural festival in eastern Australia. The scene was chaotic and terrifying as the plane struck the Ferris wheel, leaving the children suspended high above the ground and the adults trapped inside the mangled aircraft. The collision trapped two children on the ride and two adults in the aircraft for hours. Emergency responders rushed to the scene, working tirelessly to free those trapped. The delicate operation required great care to ensure the safety of everyone involved. The children and adults were eventually rescued after several tense hours. Miraculously, there were no fatalities, but the incident left a lasting impact on everyone who witnessed it. I'm sure those two kids were so traumatized I don't think they'll ever go on a ride like that again. Unless, of course, they are Julius, who likes to test probabilities. Still on creatures with mechanical properties, take a look at this gecko with a sparkling tail. Normally, geckos are known for their incredible climbing abilities and sticky toe pads, not for generating sparks. The fact that the gecko appears unbothered by the sparking makes it even more intriguing. So how do you explain this? Well, there's no straightforward explanation, but we can try. One possible explanation could be a static electricity buildup. Geckos can sometimes come into contact with surfaces that generate static electricity, especially in dry environments. This doesn't, however, result in physical sparks like we're seeing from the clip. Another theory might be some sort of small electrical current from a nearby source. Perhaps the gecko brushed against a live wire or an electrical outlet, causing the sparking effect. But again, this would typically cause harm to the gecko, which doesn't seem to be the case here. Could it be a naturally occurring phenomenon that scientists have yet to discover, or maybe this particular gecko has developed a unique adaptation that allows it to interact with electricity in a way we've never seen before? Before you come for me in the comments section, think about it. Maybe we've got a Pikachu situation on our hands. Either that, or this is some sort of animal cyborg, or the clip is simply fake. What do you think, though? As technology advances, scientists and tech experts are constantly pushing the limits of what is possible. They're always searching for new ways to innovate and create positive change. Recently, a group of scientists in Denmark came up with an exciting new idea, making glow-in-the-dark trees, also known as bioluminescent trees. The idea behind these trees is to replace traditional street lights with them. This would not only reduce the cost of maintaining faulty lights, but also help lower greenhouse gas emissions from the use of fossil fuels to power lights in the evenings. Bioluminescent trees could potentially make the world a more beautiful and magical place, transforming the nighttime landscape into a glowing wonderland. However, not everyone is pleased with this idea. Some are concerned that the genetic modification of these trees could have negative effects on the environment and human life. After all, we rely on plants for oxygen, and any changes made to their genetic structure could have unforeseen consequences. While bioluminescent trees could be a significant step forward in terms of sustainability and beauty, it's important to consider the potential risks and weigh them against the potential benefits. What do you think? Could this be a groundbreaking innovation or a potential threat to human life and the environment? This is certainly an intriguing sight to behold. This appears to be a blob-like structure with distinct human-like features such as eyes, nose, and mouth. Once it was uploaded, it started attracting a lot of attention. What's even more fascinating is that one of the eyes seems to be moving, making it look alive. Some believe that this could be a human-made creation, possibly an experiment using cutting-edge technology. Others speculate that it might be a natural and undiscovered creature. Additionally, there's a chance it could be digitally manipulated using today's advanced CGI technology. However, without more information, it's impossible to say for sure what this curious phenomenon could be. Before I ask for your thoughts, take a look at this comment underneath the original post. Now, tell me, what are your thoughts on this? Imagine going to a restaurant to have a meal and the fresh meat served to you starts moving and falls on the ground like this. It's like a scene straight out of a horror movie, making you question what exactly is on your plate. Some say it could be muscle memory causing the movement, where residual nerve activity in the meat causes it to twitch, but that doesn't make it any less creepy. Others state that it's a sign that the meat is exceptionally fresh, and while that sounds nice, it's not exactly comforting when the meat is wriggling on your plate. What do you think, though? Would you have gone ahead to cook the meat? Also, are there any of you with a similar experience? Let us know how you handled it in the comments section. We're genuinely curious. What do you see? I'm not the only one who finds it hard to subscribe, right? Initially, I thought I was looking at a camel when the clip started, but as the clip progressed and the one filming got closer, I realized that the creature was too small and maybe docile to be a camel. I then waited for whatever it was to open its eyes, but after a few seconds, I realized that the part of the head I thought the eyes would be had nothing there. In fact, it looks like the eyes and face would be around the area I expected the nose to be. Do you see it, or am I losing it? Anyway, after watching the clip multiple times and staring for minutes, I'm unable to make out what the creature is. Perhaps I've looked at so many paranormal clips that I struggle with the normal now. Can you guys help? If this is an obvious one, please be kind to me in the comments section below because I can't make it out. If it's not something usual, then what do you guys think we're dealing with here? I'll be reading the comments. Human beings are known for their insatiable curiosity, and although there is a popular saying that goes, "Curiosity killed the cat," it seems that people often fail to abide by this cautionary advice. In this particular instance, there is video footage that showcases this curiosity, where a man enters a glass structure in the snow to explore. If the video is here, then you know that it didn't go so well. Shortly after, a polar bear approaches the structure to inspect it. The bear is not merely observing, but also clawing and attempting to bite through the glass to get to the man inside. However, to everyone's surprise, the man appears to be unfazed by the bear's behavior and continues to remain inside the glass structure. One comment that caught my attention read, "Lunchbox isn't opening." My favorite comment at the end of the day is this particular one. I mean, what if? In this next clip, a bird farmer is seen entering the enclosure of her birds to check up on and possibly feed them. As she steps inside, all the birds start running around, chirping and flapping their wings. Suddenly, something strange happens. All the birds freeze in place as if time has stopped. The only bird that remains unfazed is the one in the middle, who continues to peck at the food in front of it. Just look at that, all frozen in time. But could this be a glitch in the Matrix, or what do you think? Let's see what people had to say about it. There was one common explanation between people, and that is, this is a normal thing among birds to be frozen in time when they sense danger. According to experts, when birds sense a threat, they go into a state of shock, also known as tonic immobility. This response is a survival mechanism that helps them avoid being detected by predators who are less likely to attack prey that appears to be dead. In the case of the bird farmer, it's possible that the sudden appearance of their owner caused the birds to react this way. However, it's also possible that they were reacting to something else entirely, such as a loud noise, a sudden movement, or even a predator. We can't, however, state with certainty what it is without any more evidence. Speaking of hoaxes, it's becoming increasingly easy to generate images and footage that looks very realistic but are too absurd to be true. Take a look at this next one for instance. Someone was allegedly recording a clip on a night out when this happened. A strange-looking creature came from behind and ran away toward the rails. This bizarre creature looked like the lower torso of a deer running on two legs. This isn't the first time we've seen such baffling footage. With advances in technology, it's becoming increasingly difficult to distinguish between what's real and what's fabricated. Remember the infamous Bigfoot video, or the countless UFO sightings that turned out to be drones or clever camera work? The internet is full of these strange and often creepy videos, leaving us questioning the nature of reality. While some people immediately call out these clips as hoaxes, others believe there might be some truth hidden behind the eerie visuals. Looking at this, I didn't need Julius or Aaron to confirm or disprove anything. I concluded it was a hoax, but you guys tell me what you think. Imagine you're out there doing your job when something suddenly squeals, startling you. You pause to find out what it is, and it's this guy. Quick question, what exactly is that? Well, I don't know. It doesn't look like any land animals we know, and try as I may, it didn't come up in the numerous searches I did, which is odd since it was basically hiding in the soil. I thought of it being a mole, but I don't know. Anyway, can you guys help? Is this a real animal in our world, or should I start looking to extraterrestrial origins for an explanation? Speaking of conspiracies, take a look at this footage from Utah. What comes to mind when you see this capture? And no, I'm not referring to the X trail in the sky, although that's also a tad suspicious. Look closely toward the middle. Do you see the dark being or creature there? Yep, the individuals who sent this in accidentally captured it and shared it online. Once they did, it didn't take long for another individual who had explored the area to share this footage. I don't need to tell you who this is, right? This big guy has apparently been living in and exploring the area. It's been captured one too many times by explorers and it doesn't seem to care. It probably feels like, well, no one will believe those sharing the clips and footage because Bigfoots aren't real. Just like some of you are struggling to believe if this is real or not. These days, there are a lot of sights in the sky which more often than not don't add up. From orbs to light formations that resemble saucers to shape-shifting objects, the skies seem to be filled with mysteries. Someone recently shared this intriguing footage of a strange light up in the sky moving at a questionable speed. The footage shows a bright, distinct light moving across the sky in a manner that defies the usual patterns of conventional aircraft. Its speed and the way it maneuvers suggest it could be something extraordinary. This object is obviously not the everyday plane you and I use. It looks more like a spacecraft of some sort. Having seen it, what do you think? Could this be advanced human tech that's being kept from the public eye, or are we witnessing something from another world? Share your thoughts in the comments section. This definitely doesn't look like anything you and I have encountered in our lives, does it? Well, I shouldn't speak for you because I've no idea what you've experienced, but this certainly is not normal. It looks like a humanoid creature with a mechanical makeup and wings attached. I know that's a mouthful, but it describes the exact thing we're dealing with right now. Once more, it appears to be moving its legs. The face shows no signs of life because, well, it doesn't look like skin or flesh. Naturally, I showed this to my team, and a number of them thought it might be a toy. Aaron, on the other hand, thought it might be a living creature from a plane that's not ours. For those who don't know Aaron, he's our conspiracy theorist, and he sees some conspiracy here. Our science whiz Julius, however, thinks this was put out there by someone to mislead the paranormal community. What do you think, though? Could this thing be alive, or are we simply trying to find a story where there isn't one? Share your thoughts. Someone captured this strange-looking creature in the woods. At first glance, it doesn't look like any creature we've seen, but the one who uploaded it insists it was a chupacabra. For those unfamiliar with it, the chupacabra is a legendary blood-sucking dog-like creature that's infamous for attacking livestock. Its name means goat sucker, as it was first reported attacking goats in Puerto Rico in the 1990s. Members of the paranormal community were, however, quick to point out that the creature was a guara or maned wolf, an actual species found in South America. Comparing the picture of the wolf and the creature, they do bear similarities in their long legs, ears, and tail. However, the creature in question looks sickly and appears to be missing its fur, giving it a grayish appearance. This could be due to a variety of reasons, such as malnutrition or disease. As for whether it's a sickly maned fox or a genuine chupacabra, I'll leave it up to you to decide. The Dogman is a creature that has been the subject of many myths and legends for centuries. The creature is believed to be a hybrid between man and dog, possessing the physical attributes of both species. Sightings of this creature have been reported all around the world, but they're often dismissed as mere hoaxes or misidentifications. However, this recent sighting has caught the attention of many people. A street camera captured footage of something moving across a highway. The creature was moving on all fours, but its appearance was not necessarily canine or feline. Or rather, we couldn't tell because of how blurry the footage looked. It quickly went viral on social media, and some believed that the legendary Dogman had been caught on camera. The sighting even made it on a local television news, which further fueled the fascination surrounding the mysterious creature. Despite the widespread interest in the sighting, there's still no concrete evidence to prove that's the Dogman. But what do you think? Although technology has made incredible strides in recent years, there has always been groundbreaking and innovative ideas that paved the way for today's advancements. Take, for example, this alleged clip of the Toyota Townhouse concept car designed in 1991. This forward-thinking design envisioned a future where cars were not just vehicles but integrated living spaces. The Toyota Townhouse was allegedly more than just a car. It was a mobile home equipped with various features that made it possible to live comfortably while on the move. The design included a spacious interior that could be reconfigured for different purposes, such as sleeping, working, or relaxing. It even supposedly had amenities that would rival those of a small apartment. This concept was a bold step towards imagining how vehicles could be more than just a means of transportation. It showed the potential for cars to become versatile living spaces, reflecting a lifestyle of mobility and flexibility that's increasingly relevant today. After coming across this, I found it a refreshing look into the past, but try as I may, I couldn't find a lot of sources with info on this car. If you were much older in the 90s, can you confirm if you saw this or not? Stepping away from the mechanical wonder, we've got another being that's left us a tad conflicted. That's not normal, right? That's a human being moving on all fours in a manner that's definitely a bit weird. Beyond that, he's barely had any clothes on and appears to be slender, much more slender than you would expect a normal man to be. A closer look and you'll realize that his ankles are bent in a way you would expect an animal to be. The owner of the CCTV cams saw this and alerted the neighbors. One of them reported that their home had been broken into, and the cams confirmed it was this person or creature. The question now is, who or what do you think this person is, and why is it roaming the neighborhood? The truth is, no one knows. Some think it may be a skinwalker, while others think the whole thing might be a hoax. Which of these schools of thought do you subscribe to? I know what you're thinking. Monster. Would you believe me if I told you that this was actually real? This is a frilled shark. This unique-looking creature is often referred to as a living fossil because its physical characteristics have remained largely unchanged for millions of years. The frilled shark is a long eel-like body that can reach up to 2 meters, 6.5 feet in length. Its flat head is equipped with rows of tiny needle-like teeth that are perfectly suited for capturing prey in the deep ocean. The shark's most distinctive feature, however, is its gills. They're frilly and resemble lace, giving the creature its name. Wondering why you don't see this often? Well, the answer is simple. Frilled sharks are typically found in deep ocean waters, living in depths ranging from 200 to 1,500 meters, 660 to 4,920 feet. They prefer to reside near the edges of continents and in underwater canyons where they can hunt their prey, small fish, squid, and other deep-sea creatures. These sharks are not often seen by humans due to their deep-sea habitat, but when they are, they're truly a sight to behold. Wouldn't you agree? Now, I know you're probably wondering what we've got here, and you would be right to do so. I know nature has a lot up her sleeves, but this is something else. The creature appears to be a lizard with a body as long as a snake. As strange as this thing is, it turns out it's really out there. There's a whole species of lizard out there that looks like this. They're referred to as an Asian grass lizard. They're a species of long lizards found in parts of Asia like China, Japan, Taiwan, and Vietnam. They're known for their long, snake-like body and tail. They like to live in grassy places and prefer to catch and eat bugs, thankfully. They're usually calm and shy, running away from trouble instead of fighting, which is good to know. A part of me wanted to declare this as CGI until I did the research. Turns out, not all strange and blurry pics online are fake. Who knew? A man left town to spend some time alone in his cabin in a secluded area in the woods. However, he had to immediately cut his alone time short because one morning he was woken up by these eerie sounds. Listen.
What is that?
It was a loud sound that sounded quite strange and indescribable. It had this howl and sort of a grouch and screech to it. The man didn't wait any more time and left there as fast as he could. When he posted the footage, people had a lot to say about it. Some said it was a skinwalker, others said it was a dragon, and some said it was a Bigfoot. However, skeptics thought differently. One said it could be a moose, while another said that it sounded like something being played from a speaker. What do you think it is?
What in the heck?
Apart from the hidden information on aliens, there are a lot of things that we are still not being informed about. Take a look at this footage that a woman shared.
This is the reason why the police pulled us over. Oh my gosh, what is that?
She was driving down a road in Nevada when the police pulled her over to make way for a wide load. What drove by was astonishing. A huge truck carrying a large mysterious object on its trailer. The object looked like a giant bottle, but what could it be? Nevada is home to several research facilities and test ranges, and it's also close to multiple military bases, including the infamous Area 51. This means the mysterious object could be anything. It could be a secret weapon, an experimental aircraft, a missile, or even part of a space mission project. Who knows? Aaron believes it's part of an alien ship or something connected to secretive government projects involving extraterrestrial technology. If you have any idea about what it could be, share them with us in the comments below. Before the next clip, though, I'd show you this comment from the original post. It had us laughing uncontrollably. Good one, sir.
Oh my gosh, what is that?
This unsettling footage depicts a scene that indeed evokes discomfort. What's immediately apparent is a human head lying on the ground in what appears to be a chaotic, disheveled room. The unsettling part is that this human head is connected to an utterly bizarre and nightmarish body, one that resembles an amalgamation of arms almost akin to a spider's limbs. This strange creature looks to be wriggling about. It's a recipe for instant chills. Interestingly, this peculiar snapshot has earned quite a reputation in the Vietnamese community as cursed footage. But guess what? It's now made its way to the wide world of social media as a GIF, haunting the feeds of unsuspecting users. Don't be surprised if it leaves you feeling deeply unsettled. You know that spine-tingling sensation of being watched while you're out for a nighttime stroll? Those moments can send shivers down your spine, right? Well, these folks know exactly what I mean. Out there in the darkness, these individuals suddenly caught sight of something eerie. A pair of glowing orbs. These orbs, like eyes, would intermittently flicker as if scrutinizing their every move. Talk about finding your very own elusive stalker. This mysterious entity remained hidden in the shadows, eyes locked on its unsuspecting observers. It wasn't until a brave soul in the group spoke up, alerting the entity to their awareness of its presence. And poof, like that, it vanished into the inky abyss. Now, those luminous orbs could belong to any number of things. Perhaps a creepy night prowler, a curious animal, or even something from the realm of the unexplained. These folks sure dodged a bullet, and they'll probably be a bit more cautious on their future nocturnal adventures. I came across this hearing test and thought I'd share it with you all. Apparently, younger people can hear higher frequencies better than older people. As we're always out there in search of the strange and mysterious, it's crucial we can hear the cryptids and paranormal entities when they come lurking. The test is simple. It involves playing a sound at increasing frequencies. As the frequency rises, it becomes more difficult for older people to hear the sound. This is due to our ability to hear high frequencies diminishing with age, a condition known as presbycusis. So let's put this to the test. Watch the video and listen to the tones. Share it in the comments at which age or frequency you stopped hearing the sound. It's fascinating to observe how our hearing changes over time and varies from person to person. Remember, there is no right or wrong answers, and everyone's hearing ability is unique. America has been at the center of many conspiracy theories, and even President Joe Biden has not escaped their reach. While some of these theories seem outlandish, others have, on occasion, turned out to be true. Take a look at this footage.
All of the tax breaks, essentially all the tax breaks.
That's moving naturally.
All of the benefits flowing to the top.
In the video, you can see President Biden talking in an interview. Now, there have been numerous discussions about the president being a robot, but this time, someone pointed out something else. Look closely at his neck. The skin color of his head and his neck are two different shades. His head looks like the male white man we know, but his neck appears darker, like a black man's. What's going on here? The facial movements seem very real, so it can't be a robot. However, some people believe this is someone wearing a real-life mask for the president. Is it possible that we're looking at a high-quality mask, or is it some sort of makeup error? Well, there's a third option. The clip is fake, but still, share your thoughts.
Including going back to the Great Depression.
Okay.
Ever.
This daring individual embarked on a nocturnal adventure deep within the woods, aiming to capture some compelling footage. Little did they know that their venture would take a rather traumatizing turn. On the forest floor, the filmmaker stumbled upon a most unusual sight. It was a creature unlike any other, boasting a bizarre form and crawling along the ground. Its head bore an eerie resemblance to a skull. Curiosity got the best of him, prompting a closer look at this being. However, it soon became apparent that this peculiar creature was not alone. Emerging from the pitch-black darkness was an even more horrifying figure, one that seemed to defy explanation. This elusive beast possessed a goat skull head and a humanoid body shrouded in an unsettling veil of obscurity. With relentless determination, it charged toward the unsuspecting filmmaker, sending shockwaves of terror through their very being. Filled with sheer dread, the filmmaker made a hasty retreat, fleeing from this nightmarish encounter. As spine-tingling as this footage might appear, our team has diligently scrutinized it and ultimately concluded it was nothing more than a well-orchestrated hoax. But we are curious to know your thoughts on the matter. Do you agree with our assessment? Before you move on to the next clip, please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and even drop a comment in the comment section. It goes a long way to help us produce more videos for you. Thank you very much for doing so. It means a lot. Now, moving back to the day's episode. This captivating snapshot captures the scene of a dense, ancient forest, a world where emerald green trees and vegetation seem to stretch to infinity. But let me pose a question. Can you see what lurks beyond these trees, concealed within the shadows of this primeval grove? I do see it, but everyone seems to think I'm seeing things. Next, we have footage we haven't had in a while on this channel, and by that, I mean footage of a child lost in the forest. Take a look. As you can see, there's a young child roaming the forest at night. The uploader of the footage insists that there are no settlements in this part of the wood where the camera that captured this was located. Due to this fact, he finds it hard to believe this footage exists and thinks we're dealing with a ghost or spirit. But are we now? It's hard to say, but I'm having one of those hunches that this footage isn't real. Although there's not much to go within the footage, if this image was captured in the woods, there should definitely be more foliage than we're seeing in the capture. Don't get me wrong, but it looks like this was captured in the city or at least a developed area. I suspect that the pole to the boy's right might not necessarily be a tree or a shrub, but possibly a utility pole in a residential area. A part of me just feels like someone is looking for their 5 minutes of fame. But what do you think? It's always wise to stay vigilant and aware of your surroundings, especially in situations that can turn unsettling quickly. Take the story of Tiana and Amber, for instance.
Hi. Oh my god, Tiana, go! Go! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
One night, they were out in Melbourne grabbing a bite at McDonald's. Tiana was at the wheel while Amber was in the backseat with her dog. What happened next was like something out of a horror movie. Suddenly, Tiana locks the doors and rolls up the windows. Amber is confused at first, but then she sees it too, a pale-faced woman with dark, haunting eyes approaching the car. There was something deeply unsettling and almost inhuman about her appearance. She tried to get into the car, and her intention seemed anything but friendly. Both girls were terrified, and even Amber's dog started growling at the eerie figure. Amber shouted for Tiana to drive, and within seconds they sped away. When they shared the video of their encounter, it quickly caught people's attention. Comments poured in, with many claiming to have seen the same woman attempting to break into the home. Despite numerous sightings, no one seemed to know who or what she was. Some speculated she could be a zombie, while others argued she might be a skinwalker. Personally, I have my reservations, but what do you think?
Oh, Tiana, go! Go! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Unlike the previous footage where we had an explanation for the strange creature in the cage, this next footage remains a mystery. In 2019, a stranded whale was discovered on a sandbar. Despite the presence of a beach in the area, the considerable distance between the sandbar and the beach raised questions about how the whale ended up there. For the whale to get there, there must be a tide of some sort of flood that carried it to the groove, but there were no records of a flood. So how did this huge creature get there? Well, the experts believe the tide was responsible. Do you agree? Or do you think a paranormal or extraterrestrial being is responsible? In the boundless sky above, a pilot aboard an aircraft becomes witness to a mesmerizing display of atmospheric phenomena. As the craft floats above the clouds, the pilot notices a peculiar light show unfolding beneath. Lightning-like flashes illuminate the clouds, and a mysterious beam of light pierces through from below. I know what you're thinking, alien beam, but believe it or not, this rare and captivating spectacle is known as sprites or blue jets. It's a phenomenon where electrical discharges travel from the ground to the sky, usually during thunderstorms. Unlike the more commonly observed downward lighting, which originates in clouds and strikes the ground, upward lighting starts at the surface, typically above large thunderstorms traveling upwards. These phenomena were only discovered and confirmed relatively recently, and their elusive nature makes them difficult to observe. Pilots flying above thunderstorms or satellites positioned above the Earth's atmosphere are most likely to observe and capture such rare moments. At least, that's what Julius said. What do you think?
¿Esto es real o esto es puesto ahí?
Esto es real.
Es real.
Es natural.
¿Podemos mirar?
Sí, claro.
Now feast your eyes on this man sporting what appears to be silver hair, or dare we say it, fur cascading from his shoulders down his back. Believe it or not, this is natural. In the realm of unique conditions, this falls under the purview of hypertrichosis, often colloquially referred to as werewolf syndrome. Hypertrichosis involves excessive hair growth in areas where terminal hair doesn't typically make an appearance. It comes in both congenital, present at birth, and acquired forms. Nature's quirks can take on various forms, and this silver-haired individual is living proof. Do tell me, werewolf enthusiasts, is this a condition you wish you had?
Ah, mira todo esto, güey. Oiga, se siente, no lo voy a negar que se siente, ¿verdad? Como...
So imagine this. You walk into your room, and in the corner of the ceiling there's a centipede that's not exactly a garden variety. It's about the size of a snake. Naturally, this prompts a string of questions. What's the deal with this unusually large centipede, and did it accidentally stumble into the wrong room? Is it a mutant centipede, or do these things just come in plus size now? While we may not be witnessing the next great insect revolution, it does make you wonder what's going on in the insect world that we're not privy to. Aside from all the paranormal and extraterrestrial talk we have from time to time, let's take a moment to appreciate the incredible spectacle that is the natural world. Nature is very beautiful, yet it can also be very terrifying. Just look at this. One moment the weather is all calm and cool, and the next minute the air becomes charged and clouds gather with a sense of purpose, after which storms and tornadoes announce their arrival with a powerful roar. And then there's the breathtaking power and majesty exhibited during the storms. Lightning dances across the sky, and thunder rumbles in the background. Terrifying, yet undeniably captivating. It's a vivid illustration of nature's might. Videos like this are a constant reminder that amidst all our paranormal ponderings and extraterrestrial escapades, the Earth itself is a marvel that deserves our admiration and respect. Check out this rather peculiar scene. Yes, those are turtles, and someone's diligently digging them out. Now, you might be wondering, what's the story behind this unusual turtle excavation? Turns out, some turtle species are known to hibernate. The narrative is these guys are trying to ensure their well-being during this slumberous state. According to them, it's like tucking them into a cozy bed in the earth, providing a safe and insulated space for their hibernation. Well, personally, I don't buy it. It looks like someone's gathering resources for dinner. Now, the next question is, why do they hibernate? In the wild, some species of turtles hibernate during the colder months to conserve energy when food is scarce. They may bury themselves in soil, mud, or leaf litter to protect themselves from extreme temperatures. Nature's ways can be a fascinating sight, don't you think? Whoa, check out this guy. He's doing some seriously bizarre stuff with his body. First off, he's pulling at the skin on his forehead, and it's like taffy just stretching away. That's a bit odd, right? But hold on, it gets weirder. He goes on to shift his Adam's apple. I mean, who does that? That's not your everyday talent. Then he's stretching his arms in ways that seem way too flexible, and then to top it off, he bends his finger backwards to touch the back of his hand. Now, that's not how fingers are supposed to bend. Now here's the mystery. Is this some kind of medical condition, or could he be one of those rumored hybrid humans? It's kind of disturbing messing with the norms of human anatomy like that. What's going on with this guy's body? The mystery deepens on the shores of Japan as a large orange metal object mysteriously appears on the beach, leaving eyewitnesses and officials perplexed. The sheer size and weight of the object spark bewilderment, as no one can fathom how it was transported there overnight. With no clear explanation for its presence, various theories have emerged, including the possibility that it might be of extraterrestrial origin. The lack of clues makes it difficult to find the origin or purpose of the object. Either way, what's your take on this colossal orange presence on the beach? A worldly artifact, a cosmic mystery, or maybe a touch of both? In an outdoor coffee haven, a passerby stumbles upon an extraordinary sight, a massive bat suspended from the ceiling, with its wings unfurled and an inky blackness defining its form. Bats come in various sizes and species, and some can indeed be quite large. Bats are fascinating mammals and play crucial roles in ecosystems, including pollination and insect control. While they're mostly nocturnal and known for roosting in caves, trees, or other sheltered areas, it's not uncommon to see them hanging from the ceilings of outdoor structures. As you can see, this bat and many others are generally harmless to humans and are not aggressive unless provoked. So when you come across a bat, just take a picture and go your merry way. A man from Saudi Arabia was out one night exploring an abandoned house when he found pictures on the wall of a little girl. As he continued to search around the house, he began to hear noises that suggested he was not alone. He called out, hoping to get the attention of whoever might be there, but saw no one. Despite the unsettling sounds, he pressed on, still calling out as he moved toward the source of the noise. The trail led him to some stairs to the rooftop where clothes were hanging on a clothesline. As he walked by, he noticed something strange. Between the hanging clothes, he saw the pale face of a girl with pitch-black eyes. Terrified, he backed away, but when he looked again, there was no one there. Oddly enough, the face he saw resembled the girl in the picture on the wall downstairs. It seemed that he might have encountered the ghost of the girl, but how was she there? Did she perhaps die in the house, or was it an entity that had taken a form? Imagine seeing this while out on the highway with your friends. The driver of the car does not appear to be human, with that large blue head and faint blue glow around its body. The creature didn't seem to notice them as it just continued to drive off as if it was a normal day on Earth, except it was not. They could have just run into an alien. Aliens are a hot topic these days. Despite the buzz, we don't know for sure if they are already among us or if we've ever made contact. Imagine Aaron's and my surprise when we came across this footage. What do you think's going on here? A real alien casually driving around, or a cosplayer going home from one of those cons they usually organize? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. An individual has recently captured a very peculiar and intriguing creature that bears a resemblance to a plant, though its classification is uncertain. The creature appears to have taken on the shape of a star, with multiple tentacles extending from its central body. These tentacles are unlike any seen before, as they've root-like structures attached to them. At one center of the creature, there's a small hole that appears to be used for the creature's feeding or breathing. We're not so sure. The creature takes turns sticking the root-like tentacles into this hole. What could this be? Is it feeding, or what? Well, no one we know has the answers, and our paranormal communities are speechless, which doesn't happen very often. My hypothesis is that it's an unknown and undiscovered species, or a CGI creation meant to give the uploaders their 5 minutes of fame. But what do you think? Alligators are dangerous creatures, yet some people don't seem cautious around them. Recently, a clip went viral showing a woman swimming underwater with an alligator floating right above her. Naturally, and fortunately, the alligator had its eyes above the water. What's truly astonishing is the woman's seemingly fearless demeanor as she swims right beneath the alligator, unfazed by its presence. And the reptile? Well, it appears rather indifferent, making no move to harm her, even as she boldly touches its belly. Now, one commenter suggests the alligators may not be as dangerous underwater as they are on land, but I'd err on the side of caution. Swimming alongside a flesh-eating predator like that, oh no thank you, count me out. What about you? Would you dare to take the plunge into those murky waters with a potentially deadly neighbor lurking nearby? There are countless strange and questionable things in the world, but one thing that has truly left me speechless is this particular footage. In the clip, you can see a brick house with a massive elephant inside, gradually breaking through the wall to escape. This isn't just any elephant, it's an enormous creature. As it demolishes the wall bit by bit, it becomes evident that the room it was trapped in is surprisingly small. There's no visible entry large enough for such a huge animal to have gotten inside in the first place. The big question then is, how did this creature get in there? The footage defies logic and raises intriguing possibilities. Could the elephant have been somehow teleported into the room? How else could this creature have gotten inside? Well, some commenters on the original post had funny things to say. As funny as these sound, one caught my eye. So what if, just what if? I never thought I would see the day when fish would be walking on land, but here we have 3 fish moving in a straight line crossing the road to a water nearby. This is something you'd expect to see in a cartoon, not in real life, so what's going on here? One commenter said it was because of evolution, which is a rather interesting and slightly disturbing take. Another commenter, however, shared that this is a feature of a fish called the climbing perch. The climbing perch is known for its ability to survive out of water for extended periods and move across land using its gills and fins, so nothing to see here. Just a family of climbing perch out on a walk. Believe me when I say the next one is as disturbing as it is strange. That's definitely a strange-looking creature lying down on the table. It has this grotesque-looking face and body features that don't match any known creature on the planet. The question on everyone's mind is, what is this? Naturally, the comments section of the original post was buzzing with opinions and theories. One comment that caught our attention among the thousands under the post was this: if mermaids exist, this is a more accurate description of what they would probably look like. It's an intriguing thought, isn't it? Perhaps this creature isn't an alien after all, but rather a fantastic creature of the sea, lurking in the depths beyond our understanding. Either that or we've got another hoax on our hands. Back on October the 15th, 1996, this alien body was allegedly retrieved and thoroughly examined. The footage is not very clear, so it's hard to see, but you can tell that the creature lying down is not human. It has a small, oddly shaped head and a small mouth. The eyes are closed, but one appears to be slightly open. Now, people made mention this was a legit alien sighting from one Dr. Jonathan Reed. So I did a little digging and found this. This footage was indeed from Dr. Jonathan Reed, who said the alien attacked his dog and shot his dog with a vaporizer. Reed said he took a tree branch and knocked the creature out, resulting in this footage we see. Initially, the media seized upon the story, but over time skepticism grew, and Reed's claims were ultimately debunked and dismissed as a hoax. Knowing what we know now and the possibility of extraterrestrial life out there, do you think it's a hoax or that it's real? Next, we have a mysterious encounter in the lush landscapes of Indonesia. These strange people were covered in a black substance with animal fur adorning their heads and cascading down their backs. Adding an eerie touch, these enigmatic beings are known for emitting strange, haunting screams into the air. But who or what could they be? And to the paranormal speculators, some think they might be mischievous children dressed up and engaging in elaborate pranks on unsuspecting residents. I mean, when you think about it, it's something children would do. On the flip side, a more mystical interpretation takes root. Some members of the paranormal community suggest that these peculiar beings are forest guardians wandering through the woodlands. To be fair, in folklore and local legends, tales of guardians or spirits inhabiting nature's spaces are not uncommon. The black substance and fur might symbolize a connection to the earth and the creatures within it. But perhaps this is just Aaron's paranormal ideologies rubbing off on me. What's your take on this mysterious scenario? A case of mischievous youngsters, or perhaps encounters with mystical guardians of the forest? Kindly let us know what you think in the comments section. Take a look at this disturbing footage taken on a train. Here, you can hear this loud sound coming from the train with accompanying sparks. They appear to be coming from the train. But in a few seconds, a loud sound is heard as the other side of the train sparks fire, startling everyone. Now, what's causing this chaos? One theory is that the train might be going through a tunnel that's a tad too small for its liking, scraping against the walls and creating those sparks. Another possibility is that the train itself might be having a bad day. You know, some technical hiccups. At the start of the clip, notice how the guys sitting down seem unfazed by the noise, and others on the opposite side are also keeping their cool until there's a loud sound and bright light flash from outside the train. It's almost as if they're used to this situation, meaning the second theory might be correct. What do you think? You know, it's all about experience and quick thinking when you're out in the wild. This video is like a crash course in dealing with potential predators. So here's the deal. In the video, there's something lurking beneath the water, and you can't see it right away. But as for our recorder, they've got some tricks up their sleeve. They've probably been in situations like this before and know what to look out for. Instead of just being a sitting duck, they decide to take matters into their own hands. They grab a stick and toss it into the water, basically fooling the alligator. It's like a game of wits, and the alligator falls for it, showing its true colors. Attack before your opponent gets to prepare you could be the takeaway. What do you think? Let's dive into this intriguing forest encounter, shall we? A witness with a keen eye managed to record a rather strange sight deep in the woods. What unfolded was a creature crouched by a riverside engaging in what appeared to be some form of water play. Now, the really curious part is the appearance of this entity. It had dark fur, which adds to the mystery of this encounter. Upon a closer look, you couldn't help but notice its humanoid-like characteristics. That's when the comparison started rolling in. People couldn't help but connect the dots to the legendary Bigfoot, known for its elusive nature. But before we jump to conclusions, some skeptics chimed in. They speculated this could be an ape, perhaps a gorilla. So the big question still lingers. What exactly was this creature? In the wilds of British Columbia, a man finds himself face to face with a creature that's known to exist only in legends. In the captured footage, the creature peers cautiously from behind the trees, revealing a dark face adorned with black fur. Looking at the footage, I guess we all know who the big guy is. Yes, you thought right, the legendary Sasquatch. Sasquatch lore is characterized by tales of large, hairy, ape-like beings that are said to inhabit remote wilderness areas. While there have been numerous reported sightings and anecdotal evidence, the existence of Sasquatch remains a mystery. You'd think with all our advanced tech, we'd have found them by now. Once the footage popped up online, though, many believed we may be dealing with an ape instead. What do you think? While walking through the wilderness, a man hears these strange purrs coming from a cave. As curiosity beckons, the intrepid explorer gets closer and spots a creature with glowing eyes peering from an opening in the cave. Now, there seems to be no visible entrance to the cave, so how did the creature find its way in? And more importantly, what kind of creature are we dealing with here? Some suggest it might be a mountain lion, a known inhabitant of caves in remote areas. I mean, these creatures are known for their elusive behavior, and their reflective eyes in low-light conditions could create the appearance of glowing eyes like we see in the footage. There are others, however, who entertain the idea that something far more sinister might be afoot, perhaps a mystical creature hiding in the cave. Having seen it, what do you think? In a classic father-son hunting outing, the young one decides it's a perfect moment for a playful prank. Dressed in earthy tones of green, brown, and cream, he dons a cunning disguise, a lifelike fake buckhead. Nestling beside a sturdy tree, he steadies his trophy, all set to surprise his dad. One might ponder how his father wouldn't spot the charade from a considerable distance, yet the young trickster pulls it off with finesse. Perhaps his dad's trail cam, which we see, was the target after all. The scene is left with this playful intrigue as the video culminates with laughter and camaraderie. Of course, some may argue that such pranks are risky business in the world of hunting. Imagine his father was actually out with a gun and shot before seeing the whole picture. That could turn bad really quickly. Either way, what are your thoughts on this father-son escapade? Is it all in good fun, or does it teeter on the edge of a bad idea? Share your thoughts in the comments. So this TikTok page called Official GPT dropped a serious, eerie video that got everyone talking. In the clip, the person is filming in the woods at night. Things were just your typical spooky forest scene until a strange noise caught their attention. He quickly swung the camera toward the source of the noise and bam! There it was, something super creepy. This eerie creature was chilling on a tree branch, looking all ghostly and pale, with its long, dark hair making the whole scene even more unsettling. And then, if that wasn't freaky enough, the creature extended its hand and out of the blue, fire appeared. Yeah, you can guess what happened next. The person behind the camera decided it was time to beat a hasty retreat out of those woods. I don't blame him. That's some seriously hair-raising stuff right there. If you're wondering what you're looking at, allow me to tell you, you aren't the first to have done so. Apparently, this is a sigbin, a mystical creature from Filipino folklore described as a nocturnal beast that's part goat and part dog. The eerie creature is said to have large ears that can clap like hands and a tail resembling a whip. Its most distinctive feature is its habit of walking backward. Recently, someone shared this footage because they believed it was a sigbin. The video doesn't show the creature fully, only its back is visible, adding to the mystery and intrigue. According to legend, the sigbin is not just a bizarre-looking animal, but is also known to be the pet of witches. It's said to have sinister abilities to suck its victims' blood through their shadows, making it a feared entity in Filipino culture. Seeing the footage, I can't help but wonder if this is truly a sigbin or perhaps some other unknown creature. What do you think? Have you ever come across this before? A lizard-like creature with an extremely long tail that, if not for its 4 legs, you might mistake for a snake. This fascinating creature is called a long-tailed glass lizard. Despite its name, it's not actually a snake, but a type of legless lizard. The long-tailed glass lizard is known for its elongated, slender body and remarkably long tail, which can make up more than 2/3 of its total length. What sets it apart from snakes are its small, almost vestigial legs and the ability to blink with eyelids, a feature snakes lack. These lizards are often found in grassy or sandy areas where they can move swiftly and blend into their surroundings. Their name, glass lizard, comes from their ability to shed their tail to escape predators, much like a fragile piece of glass that can break away. The tail will eventually regrow, but often not to its original length. I came across a post discussing this creature with some wondering if it was real or not. This comment got the whole team in tears.
How you doing?
Not good.
What's going on?
Okay, Jeremiah, come out here.
According to a recent TikTok video posted by a user named Divine Pisces 444, she is convinced that a portal opened in front of her house for extraterrestrial beings. The user has shared multiple clips showing what she believes to be aliens visiting her home. Take a listen.
In 2021, and it's just been non-stop. 3 houses they arrived to. Ours was the first house, couple houses down, and then further down the road because we heard the doorbell ring. I don't have a doorbell. It was some type of signal they gave that they were there. You understand what I'm saying? This is my security camera, you guys, picking this shit up.
In the videos, she can be heard describing the strange and unexplainable occurrences happening in her house.
You watch my videos and you go, I don't see anything, because you don't know what they look like. They have come in so many shapes, sizes, forms, colors. Actual creatures have come in my house. Some stood as short as 2 feet, some as tall as 9 feet.
Her voice sounds shaken, and the fear and anxiety are quite evident in her tone. The video has sparked a wave of discussion and speculation on social media, with many people sharing their theories about the possible existence of aliens. What do you think of her encounter? Share your thoughts and opinions in the comments section.
The people that was up on that ship, they were like doing something at that tree, and when they wanted to communicate with me, that whole front of that tree, it would turn into their face, and they would talk to me telepathically.
Speaking of bizarre occurrences, someone allegedly captured this next clip at an unknown location. Enjoy. In the clip, we're introduced to this huge and strange object falling from the sky. The object is almost transparent, and there's people also gathering around to see it. The question on everyone's mind was, what is this? Some people mentioned that it was a weather balloon falling to the ground. Weather balloons are commonly used for atmospheric research and data collection, and it's not uncommon for them to be mistaken for unidentified objects when spotted from a distance. Another mentioned that this was a government project of deception, specifically the blue beam projection. While I can understand the weather balloon bit, I have questions about the blue beam projection. Of all the clips, why would the government share this, assuming we believe the blue beam projection theory? It doesn't add up, does it? Anyway, what do you personally think about the whole thing? When it comes to paranormal things, hospitals are like magnets for them, mainly because they've served as a place of trauma, suffering, and even death. To underscore this point, take a look at this footage captured by a worker at a hospital. They had noticed something weird going on in a particular room for a while, so they decided to take a camera in hopes of capturing something unusual. And then this happened. In the video, you see an empty bed, but out of nowhere, did you see that? Take a closer look. A dark figure appears out of nowhere by the bed and walks right through it. The figure looks like a shadow, but the room is brightly lit, so you might miss it if you don't pay attention. What do you think this shadow was? Could it be a camera glitch, or was it an actual entity, perhaps the ghost of a deceased patient who used to be in that room? Before dismissing this is unreal, check out this comment from a health worker on the original post. I know you guys loved the praying mantis from our last episode, so here's another one. This is the African spiny mantis. The African spiny mantis, or Pseudocribotra wolbergill, is a fascinating insect. Its striking appearance, with its vibrant colors and spiky appendages, makes it almost otherworldly. The pinkish hues and intricate patterns on its body serve as both camouflage and a warning to potential predators. These mantises are native to Africa and are often found in gardens and forests, where they blend in seamlessly with flowers and foliage. Despite their delicate and beautiful appearance, African spiny mantises are skilled hunters. They use their powerful front legs to catch and hold prey, which they consume with their strong mandibles. I know they're cute, but don't go giving them your fingers unless, of course, you don't want them anymore. Distinguishing between what's real and what's not has become increasingly challenging. I recently came across this fascinating footage that has gotten members of the paranormal community excited yet scared. In the clip, there is a massive pillar with huge tentacles wrapped around it. It's a sight to behold. However, before we start imagining the existence of colossal octopus monsters, it's worth considering the potential for digital manipulation. Thanks to the advancement in technology, it's gotten relatively easier to create realistic-looking creatures for your videos. This makes some members of our team think this might be nothing more than CGI. While there's a strong assertion, we can't really prove it, but you've seen it. What do you think? Is this merely a result of CGI, or is there something more at play? Please share your thoughts in the comments section.
Sue. Нет. Бургер. Хорошо, стоп. Мясо.
Take a look at this man who appears to be over-friendly with a bear. He leans against the giant fur of the animal, and something is unsettling about the way he interacts with the bear. But that's not even the most concerning part. Watch as the man offers a burger to the bear, but the bear refuses to eat it. The man takes out the ingredients one by one, trying to entice the animal to eat. He shows the bear the patty, then the cheese, then the lettuce and tomato, but the bear still refused to eat. The man continues to pester the bear, urging it to eat. He tries to hand-feed the animal, but it still won't eat. Finally, after much pestering, the bear gets up and walks away from the man. As you watch this scene, you can't help but wonder why the bear refused to eat. Could it be that the bear smelled something unhealthy and inedible from the food? It's concerning to think about what we're putting into our stomachs when we eat these things. Either that or the bear might be vegan and the burger just wasn't meeting the mark.
Неправильно. Давай.
Не хочет.
Не хочу. Нет.
On the island of Flores, this strange-looking creature was discovered. It was a 3-foot-tall humanoid with large feet and a small skull. This intriguing find was named the Hobbit Man. Known scientifically as Homo floresiensis, this species lived around 50,000 years ago. The discovery of these hobbits has caught the interest of the scientific community and their public. Some people have even reported sightings of similar creatures in various parts of the world. The existence of Homo floresiensis, along with other extinct human species like Neanderthals and Denisovans, suggests that these were indeed different species of humans. These species coexisted with our ancestors, Homo sapiens, and interacted with them in ways we're still trying to fully understand. The diversity among ancient human species highlights the complexity of human evolution. Each species has unique adaptations that help them survive in their particular environments. For example, the small stature and large feet of Homo floresiensis may have been advantageous for navigating the dense forests of Flores. Others still undiscovered or elusive human-like species living today. While such sightings are often attributed to folklore and imagination, the rich tapestry of human evolution reminds us that the natural world is full of surprises. What do you think about these hobbit humans? In these past few weeks, we've featured lots of clips from all over the world showing strange things happening in the skies that people are being forced to keep quiet about. What you see on your screen is no exception, and it was recorded recently in the skies of China. As the one filming zoomed in, it became clear that this was not just ordinary lights. The glow had an eerie, otherworldly quality that left viewers puzzled and intrigued. What could this be? Well, some speculate that it might be a natural phenomenon or a reflection of city lights off low-hanging clouds. However, the unusual appearance of the glow makes these explanations seem unlikely. Others believe that the glow could be caused by human activity, such as a light show or a projection for an underground event. I believe if this was a light show, the person recording would have been perplexed. In recent years, there have been instances of cities using powerful lights and projectors to create dramatic effects in the sky. This has led others to suggest that the glow could be evidence of extraterrestrial activity or a secret government project. What do you think? Have you watched the movie Life? If so, you might recall the scene where they captured a gooey creature in space that later turned into a human-eating monster. Recently, footage has been circulating that is eerily similar. In the video, there's a plate on a table with a strange, thick, black, gooey substance. A hand holds a metal ring, and the liquid follows wherever the ring goes. It's unclear where this footage was taken or who recorded it, but this is something worth investigating. But wait, it gets even more intriguing. The hand tries to separate the goo with a credit card, but it effortlessly merges back together, as if it has a mind of its own. Now, some people have drawn comparisons to the infamous symbiotic alien known as Venom, and you can see why. The resemblance is uncanny. Others speculate that it could be graphene, a material known for its unique properties. One intriguing suggestion comes from a commenter who proposed that it might be a ferromagnetic fluid reacting to a magnet hidden beneath the table. This theory holds water, as ferromagnetic fluids are indeed capable of exhibiting fascinating behaviors when exposed to magnetic fields, such as following the movement of a magnet or rejoining when separated. As for us, we're no experts and can only speculate based on available evidence. Nonetheless, we'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think's going on here? A woman came across this dead creature in a jar covered in a slimy substance. It appears to be an alien-like miniature being in a fetal position. The creature was so tiny and fit in the palm of the woman who found it. The creature was gray with huge eyes and an oddly shaped head, features that have long been associated with extraterrestrial beings. Why would someone go through the trouble of capturing such a creature and preserving it in a jar? Is it a genuine extraterrestrial being, or perhaps a cleverly crafted hoax designed to stir up intrigue? Many in the paranormal community believe it's a fake, but what say you? In Iceland, a volcano erupted in Grindavik, causing significant disruption. The lava flowed over roads and engulfed a huge portion of the land. As of now, the eruption is still ongoing. The volcanic activity began on May the 29th, and since then, it's covered homes and properties in its path. The relentless flow of lava has forced many residents to evacuate, leaving behind their belongings and homes. Emergency services and scientists are closely monitoring the situation, but the continuous eruption poses ongoing challenges. The landscape of Grindavik has been drastically altered, with roads rendered impassable and vast areas transformed by the relentless lava. The community has rallied together, with evacuation centers set up for displaced residents. Our hearts go out to you guys. Scientists have recently discovered 7 stars that emit unusual infrared radiations. In their words, they were basically glowing. The funny thing is, they don't know why. One scientist, however, believes that structures known as Dyson spheres could be responsible. But what exactly are these structures? One prevailing theory is that they could be some kind of advanced alien technology, possibly functioning as enormous solar panels. These hypothetical solar panels will be used to capture energy from the stars, which would be an efficient way for an advanced civilization to harness stellar energy. Another possibility is that these structures might serve as a massive space station. These could be habitats or operational bases for extraterrestrial life forms designed to take advantage of the energy output of their host stars. Of course, there's always the chance that these structures are something else entirely, something beyond our current understanding or imagination. Whatever these structures are, however, scientists agree that if they do exist, they would be invisible to the infrared spectrum, and that's what you're seeing. Is this a confirmation? A yes and a no? We can't be entirely sure. Scientists can only speculate at this point. But what do you think of the whole thing? Possible or ludicrous? Let us know in the comment section. With the advancement of technology, body modification techniques are also becoming more sophisticated. For those who have ever considered changing their eye color, it's now possible thanks to FLAC Pro technique. Beatriz from Brazil underwent this procedure to change her eye color from a darkest shade to a water green, and her results were remarkable. The FLAC Pro procedure involves pigmentation of the cornea, which is a clear front surface of the eye. Skilled ophthalmologists perform the procedure by injecting a specialized pigment into the cornea stroma, the middle layer of the cornea. This pigment interacts with the existing iris color, resulting in a new hue. The procedure is performed with great care and precision, ensuring that the patient's eye health is not compromised. Beatrice underwent the procedure in Rome, Italy, where it was successfully performed. The change in eye color has been a popular trend in recent years, and as technology continues to advance, this trend is likely to continue. Would you try this? Over the years, there have been numerous reports of unidentified flying objects and sightings of extraterrestrial life, which have warranted intense scrutiny. However, this alleged UFO sighting shared online by renowned Mexican journalist and ufologist Jaime Maussan has captured people's attention worldwide. The clip shows a bright light ascending into the night sky and then disappearing into the clouds. However, even after it disappears into the clouds, you can still see lights shining above them, which has left many people wondering what it could be. Jean Moissan is well known for his work in the field of ufology, having investigated and reported on several UFO sightings and alien encounters. This sighting has only added to the intrigue and mystery surrounding the topic. While some folks hang on to Moissan's every word, others are quick to dismiss him as a fake, questioning the authenticity of his content. Well, as with many things in the realm of UFOs and aliens, it's a mixed bag of belief and skepticism. Without more concrete evidence, it's tough to say for sure what's really going on up there in the skies. What do you make of this? Real or fake? Next, we got a woman who had a really strange conversation with her daughter. The girl started talking about the world beginning again, which was quite an unusual topic. Take a listen.
The world will begin again.
Uh-huh. What else did you say?
Other people will come on the world.
Okay.
That's what I said.
Well, what was the other part?
What other part?
About everybody dying? What were you saying?
More people will come on Earth.
Okay. Why did you think that?
Because it's what the world begins like.
Oh.
When I die, I will come back and I'll be a baby and I'll have a different name.
Okay.
And you'll have a different.
Okay.
So that's what I said.
Alright, thanks, babe.
It's what I have to say, and it's sad.
Yeah, it does sound sad.
I had to say something sad.
Okay.
So that's why I just talked to you.
Okay, thanks, babe.
You're welcome.
Okay.
The girl even mentioned that she would die and come back to life as a different person, like reincarnation, and she talks about people coming on Earth. This had Aaron excited and trying to decode what she said. He wondered if they're referring to some sort of alien invasion. I know you may want to dismiss this, but this isn't the first time kids have been caught talking about these kinds of things. One commenter even stated that this girl might be an indigo child. For those unfamiliar with the term, indigo children are believed by some to be a new generation of kids with special, sometimes supernatural abilities or insights. They're often described as being highly intuitive, spiritually aware, and possessing a strong sense of purpose. What do you think, though? Are the words of this little girl worth paying attention to, or do you think a mother put her up to it? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section.
People will come on the world.
Okay.
That's what I said.
This is our old cemetery. This one has some wording on it.
This man was out on the sea when he came across a cemetery that was buried by the water. Some houses were submerged in the water as well. This eerie site, or should I say sad site, is part of the Falcon Reservoir. The Falcon Reservoir, built in 1952, lies 40 miles southeast of Laredo, Texas. When it was constructed, several communities, including their houses and cemeteries, were submerged underwater. As of June 13, 2024, Falcon Reservoir was only 9.7% full, exposing more of these submerged structures than usual. The low water levels have uncovered many graves and homes. Has any one of you lived or had a family that was close to this area? Can you share your stories or experiences?
A water well, another house, and another house.
Now I know what you're thinking, but no, that's not King Ghidorah from the Monsterverse. If Ghidorah existed, the only way we'd make it out alive is if we had Godzilla or King Kong coming to our rescue, and clearly that's not an option. So what are we looking at then? Aaron believes it's a fake. Well, now, if Aaron, the man who believes any animal could be a skinwalker, calls something as cool as this fake, then you should definitely believe him. Someone could possibly have edited lightning footage and made it look more ominous than it really is. Either that or we're in serious trouble. Having seen the footage yourself, what do you think? Now get ready for an eerie sight as we dive into footage from a Texas park dating back to 2015. But beware, what may initially resemble dropping servings of spaghetti will turn out to be a cluster of earthworms intricately woven together in a rather unsettling formation. This strange and repulsive display prompts immediate questions about the cause behind such peculiar behavior in earthworms. Worms are typically known for their underground activities, crucial for maintaining soil health. Witnessing them suddenly emerge en masse, especially in this bizarre entanglement, is not a common occurrence. Some who saw it believe that a storm caused the worms to come up from the ground, after which they were washed up to the road. Given that the center of the road had the least amount of water, they remained there till the water began to recede and drain. It's at this moment they may have formed the balls we see, which is actually something they're known to do to stay alive. These are all speculations, of course, but having seen it yourself, what do you think this is? A communal effort to stay alive? A display of unusual mating behavior? Or are the worms plotting something ominous? Share your thoughts in the comment section. Now, look at this.
Cause what the fuck is this? Bitch just over here munching away.
A woman was enjoying her fries and chicken when she noticed a weird-looking piece of chicken. This piece was shaped like a four-legged creature with a tail and head. You don't need to be a psychic to know we're all thinking this looks like a mouse. There have been numerous instances where people have found rats and other creatures fried up with their meals, and that's a very disturbing thought. However, in this case, it could also just be a piece of chicken that's oddly shaped. But let's have some fun with this. What do you guys think we're dealing with? Wrong answers only. This next footage really put the horror in Airbnb. A man had booked an Airbnb in Dayton, Ohio. As he was exploring the house, he discovered a basement and decided to check it out, only to come across something unsettling.
Yo, I just came from my Airbnb. Went to the basement and look at this shit. Y'all, don't do Airbnb. Oh my motherfucking God.
The room was dark, with strange patterns on the walls. There was an eerie-looking bed made from an old mattress and a side table that appeared to be a rock on some rusted metal. Lit candles were placed on the table, and leaves were hanging from the ceiling over the candles, eerily swinging. Another table, also made of rocks and wood, had leaves hanging above it and a book on top. The entire setup looked like some sort of shrine. Why would someone rent out an Airbnb with such a haunting room in it? This discovery has me freaked out. I feel like I'd need to thoroughly check every part of a house before renting it because this is just not right. What would you do if you encountered something like this in an Airbnb? Also, Aaron believes this is very real. Do you? Now, that's what you call an uninvited guest. Imagine hearing knocks and scratches at your door, only to open up to see a white lion there. The thought is a scary one because there's no way you're escaping a lion that close up. After carefully reviewing the footage, Jack, my new assistant, thinks that this lion may be domesticated and may have actually been trying to get into its master's quarters. Personally, I believe that's the only logical explanation here. How would you explain the lion trying to turn a doorknob? In the streets of Italy, a mesmerizing anomaly unfolds, captivating both onlookers and scientists in equal measure as captured in footage that evokes a sense of wonder. Raindrops descend upon a small section of the road, leaving the surrounding area untouched and dry. Everyone passing by is both mesmerized and stunned, yet no one can explain what was happening. Scientists, ever eager to provide explanations, termed this intriguing occurrence as localized rain. Localized rain occurs when specific conditions create a microenvironment conducive to precipitation in a confined space. Despite the rational explanation, the human tendency to seek meaning beyond the ordinary makes some wonder whether there might be something more to this meteorological display than meets the eye. Usually when you think of fishing, you imagine throwing your net into the water or using a line and bait to catch a fish. But this footage shows something entirely different. Here, fish are flying out of the water, almost as if they're asking you to come catch them. It's a bizarre and fascinating sight, with fish leaping high into the air seemingly without any provocation. This phenomenon could be due to several reasons. One common cause is the presence of predators beneath the water, forcing the fish to jump out in a bid to escape. Another possibility is environmental factors such as sudden changes in water temperature or oxygen levels, which might cause the fish to react in such a dramatic manner. What do you think could be causing the fish to behave this way? Stepping away from the robo-insect scenes, I've got a clip that may leave some scratching their heads. Enjoy.
Bro, I swear to God, this turkey has been, looking 10 minutes ago. Doing this all day, what is going on?
Yes, you were seeing right. That's a turkey circling a graveyard. The lady recording had been at the graveyard for 10 minutes and even came to meet the turkey there doing exactly this. That means it could have been there for hours before she arrived. But what is this turkey doing? Why that particular grave? The truth is, no one can state for sure what the issue is. That doesn't stop people from speculating, though. There are some who believe that animals can sense things that humans cannot, like spirits, entities, and even energies. They suspect that this turkey is reacting to something that we can't see. There are some who also support that it might just be random behavior, possibly influenced by the environment or even by something as simple as the shape or smell of the gravestone. Julius, however, thinks that the turkey could have seen its reflection and thought it was another turkey and gone into its territorial fight mode. Thinking about it, Julius might be right. That gravestone does have the ability to reflect its image, and turkeys have been known to act funny around cars when they see their reflection. But then again, we can't confirm this. Which of these explanations do you think really reflects what may be going on?
Looking 10 minutes ago. Doing this all day, what is going on?
Shit, they got every year make and model on this bitch. Motherfucker done burnt out.
This footage was captured in San Francisco, where there had been a noticeable increase in thefts in the Bay Area recently. To ensure the safety of their possessions, people have been taking various measures to secure them, and this car owner has taken a rather innovative and extreme approach. The owner of this car has gone to great lengths to protect their vehicle by welding several security cameras onto it. The cameras are strategically placed all around the car to ensure complete coverage and to provide the owner with a 360-degree view of the surroundings. It's a whimsical approach, to be sure, but you can't deny the ingenuity behind it. With those cameras mounted all around, it's safe to say that anyone thinking of getting too close to this car will think twice, unless, of course, they had their whole body covered and they ripped the cameras off for some extra profit. It sounds funny, but I can see that happening.
Shit, they got every year make and model on this bitch. Motherfucker done burnt out. Shit, they got that remote on there.
In this next footage, someone shared security footage online. In the footage, there is a ghostly figure walking through a room and then disappearing in a thin air. It's a very eerie sight to behold. Just imagine seeing something like this on your own camera. A commenter on the video suggested that this might be a cloaking device, which is quite an unusual explanation. Typically, most people would assume that the figure in the footage is a ghost or some other paranormal entity, but a cloaking device? Oh, that's something. Given our recent advancements in technology, that's not too wild a thought, but what do you think? A potential ghost or a test run for a cloaking device? Share your thoughts. Amusement parks are always fun and exciting, but if you have ever watched the movie Final Destination, you might think twice before climbing on any of those rides. The idea of thrill rides can be overshadowed by the fear of something going horribly wrong.
Bro, it's really broken.
Yeah. Give me my phone right now.
Take a look at what happened recently at an amusement park in Portland, Oregon. 28 people were stuck upside down on a ride. As they hung there, their phones and wallets fell to the ground, and some people even started throwing up due to the prolonged inversion. They were stuck in that precarious position for 30 minutes before authorities were able to safely get them down. Thankfully, there were no casualties, but the experience was undoubtedly harrowing for everyone involved. Imagine the panic and helplessness of being suspended in the air, unable to do anything but wait for rescue. Okay, I'd rather stop imagining at this point. Ever had such an experience? Share it with us in the comments section.
Bro, it's really broken.
This was recorded by a man who felt that insects he had been seeing around his home for the past few weeks were not normal. Not only did they behave abnormally, they didn't respond to the insecticides he typically uses. This got him curious, and he decided to pay closer attention to them. He ended up squashing one, and that's when reality hit him. The bugs barely had any organic matter in them. Nobody was willing to believe him, so this time he decided to lightly touch the bug and record it. What you see on your screen is the result of that adventure. As he gently taps the back of the bug, there's a click and 2 green lights light up behind the supposed insect. That's not normal, even I know that. And for the first time, Julius, our science whiz, and Aaron, our conspiracy theorist, agree. The big question now is this real? This has been the source of debate for my team members as well as the online paranormal community. Some argued it might be a lightning bug. Others thought it had to be a click beetle. While those sound like great explanations, they don't explain the green lights. What do you think we're dealing with here? While walking on the field, a farmer was taken aback by a strange sight and started recording. Some of the haystacks on the field suddenly flew off the ground and fell back down at random intervals. The farmer, puzzled by this bizarre behavior, tried to find a logical explanation for it. At first he thought it might be the wind, but when you look closely at the footage, you'll notice that there is no sign of wind blowing at all. Also, the bundles of hay that were flying off the ground were not necessarily the ones that were closest to each other, which made the situation even more peculiar. Some people speculated that it could be due to demon possession or ghost activity because there seems to be no logical explanation for the phenomenon. What do you think, though? Could this be an actual real-life capture of ghost activity, or could this man and his group of friends be playing a fast one on us? Please share your thoughts. One of our subscribers recently shared an intriguing image with us. The picture shows a mysterious creature that was spotted on the shores of a water body. Take a look. The creature in question has a rather peculiar head with 2 eyes, a slightly open mouth, and tiny razor-sharp teeth. Its physical characteristics differ significantly from those of regular fish, as it has 2 arms extended with 4 claws. The creature's appearance has puzzled many, leading to various speculations. Some people suggest that this creature could be a Nephilim, an angelic being mentioned in ancient texts. Others believe that it could be a baby mermaid, a mythical creature that has been the subject of folklore for centuries. And then there's the possibility of extraterrestrial origins, with some speculating that it could be an alien life form exploring our earthly waters. While this idea may seem far-fetched to some, the vastness of the universe and the mysteries it holds leaves room for such speculation and imagination. That big question now is, which of these is the most accurate? I guess we'll never know, unless of course it comes out that this was all an elaborate hoax to mislead the masses. In this next clip, I simply have no words. I'll just let you watch. Why would anyone think of spraying the Stonehenge? No logical reason, right? So why do 2 activists from Just Stop Oil think spraying orange paint on these structures would advance their cause? I'm missing something. And with that, we end today's episode. Thanks for staying with us. Before you go, are there clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't? Well, the good news is you can share them with us and we'll post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. We can't wait to receive what you have. Share this video with someone you love, and I will see you in the next one.